Hey, everybody, welcome to bonus content. I'm Alex O'Neill. Brant's here.
I am here.
Brant Range is here. Hi.
I am.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Scott Guthier's here.
Yep.
Brian Nobishan Jackson's here.
Mm-hmm.
We got 4 people again, assembled. No two-man show.
Two-man show was great.
It was good. It was nice and short and sweet. You guys had a good conversation. I'm like upset because this boom is like blocking my face. I could lean over the table the whole time. Maybe I could just let me scoot a little bit closer to you, buddy.
Fine.
I know how you get nervous, but
I don't know. I'm part of the Fantastic Four here this week, so I'm
Fantastic Four. Yeah, Tony's off hanging out with our good friend Griffin Guccione. Mm-hmm. Making this Tony's second miss appearance in a row. I just want to throw it out there. He's not winning that one at the end of the year.
Okay.
It's still down to Scott Nobishan. The True Rocks. I was not here last week because I was fucking sick. I'm still sick, but is it sick? I'm gonna direct this to you, Brant.
Sure.
You're physically near me, but feel free to answer, Scott or Nobishan. Is it sick if, like, for the most part you function? It's just in like specific instances where you just immediately feel terrible.
Yeah. Sure. You're unwell.
No. Not exactly.
What is it then? What would you call that, Scott?
Sickish.
Sick-ish.
Well, here's
What'd you call it? Sick.
Not healthy.
it's
Not healthy.
that's more of like a laziness slump,
Yeah.
I would say. And it's one of those things that's real rough to work through because I get those too.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's okay for 2 hours I am overly exhausted
Okay.
and I have a hard time thinking straight. I need to go lay down.
So for me, what's going on right now, and has been going on for now approaching 2 weeks, anytime like I look up or down or like I go from a laying position to a standing position, my head feels like you just threw it spinning down a hallway.
Okay, you see, now that's something more constant.
Yeah.
That is something specific. That's wrong with you. That's constant. You see, yes, you're sick.
Yeah.
You're sick.
You're sick as fuck, man.
You just got diagnosed on air.
Yeah, there we go.
Call in. Diagnose you.
Callers call in with vertigo diagnosis. Yeah, so I've never gotten vertigo before up until last week, but it started happening like last Monday, not this past Monday, but last Monday. And it's just, oh God, it's terrible. Man, it's the worst thing ever. Like, I talked to a few friends about it, and the thing that makes it so bad is I've been sick many different ways in my life, but I've never been sick like this before. So I'm experiencing, that's the word I was looking for, a new kind of sickness 24 years in after being sick in a lot of different kind of ways. And this kind of way is awful. And then I got like a sinus infection in the middle of all that, and that I just got through that like this past Monday, pretty much. So
You were pretty sick.
yeah, dude, and I'm still spinning. Like, we were in that bookstore earlier today, and I was like trying to look up at a shelf, and I was holding on to it. I was like, fuck. So like I had to like position my body in a way so that my head wasn't tilting too much in any direction.
Right.
I've gotten pretty stable with it so that like it's not happening when I'm driving or anything, but God, it's awful. It's just the worst.
All right, so you win the award for having the worst week.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, this was last week, the week that I wasn't even on the show. This isn't a competition
You got the worst week award.
of the Lord. I've had a pretty good week. You were here, Brant.
Yeah, I've been here. I've probably been the highlight of your week.
Yeah. Humble brag over here.
I mean, probably.
I mean, I didn't do much outside of hanging.
We've done a lot of stuff in the past 48 hours.
Actually, I have done a lot of stuff this past week. I was cooking a lot. I made a lot of fun entrees.
Mm-hmm.
I've been getting into the cookings. Hashtag cooking with Alex. Have you been following along on the Instagram, Nobishan?
The Instagram.
Yeah. Obviously not any other video or picture-based social media platform.
I can't even think of what that would be.
Yeah, no one would even have a name for it.
Some sort of like Kodak Now service.
Kodak.
It's instant, Polaroid Senditure or some other kind of thing.
But yeah, I've been posting some pictures of my completed recipes on there, and that's been good. I cooked for you last night.
Yeah.
How'd I do?
You did very well.
I thought so.
I think that you have like first of all, he's just inspired by Link because he played Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, that's what it is.
And he incessantly makes the noise while he cooks. He's bang, it's really annoying. That part is annoying. It's really annoying. And then he goes bam when he like plates it. It's like a whole weird big production. He asks me what's it called and stuff like that. He names it and asks me how many hearts it gives me back. It's weird.
I threw a durian in there just to see if I turn you yellow.
Yeah, of course. You throw radishes in from Mario Brothers 2. He's got a lot of fancy names for his ingredients.
Yeah.
You cooked very well. And I'm excited to see because I come down here like every 6 months. I want to see what happens the next time I'm down here.
Yeah.
It's like how much you've progressed.
I've just gotten super fat.
No, you're gonna get super buff.
Yeah.
That's how after Vertigo you spin so much that you've got great legs. You don't need leg day. You're spinning so hard. And then you're gonna need to cook so that you don't die. And I think you're gonna get to like the weird state. Like there's like restaurants that are really nice that you like go down and it's you sit down and you hang out and they're like expensive entrees, but you can identify what the food is on the plate. You're like, that's an expensive steak or like that's an expensive piece of seafood. And then it's like the weird level, like the one tier expense higher where it's deconstructed. And it's like, this is 1/2 of a quail egg that was read a Dr. Seuss book, $600. And like, that is where things get super weird.
In 6 months, you think I could hit there?
Yeah, I think you can be like, I call this the cat in the hat. And it's just like one chicken feather next to like half a chicken wing on top of like one piece of kale. And you're going to be like,
With like caviar, like as the bedding.
no, it's just going to be like this water I bought from Indonesia. It's just going to be hella weird.
You'll have no idea where I bought this next.
Exactly. So, but I want to hear about the other panelists. You've been sick. I've been working. What have the other panelists been up to?
Scott, yeah, I mean, you've been holding down the irrational passions for, that's for sure. Scott, what you been doing this week? Did you blow up another kitchen?
What? Hey, the kitchen was not my fault.
I know. I was just asking. I promise.
I don't believe you.
I know. I'm sorry. I listened to some of bonus. I listened to Nabashin's one-man bonus content last week.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was intense. I was pretty into it. Scott showed up at some point, and no one thought he was going to arrive because
Yeah, my
Google Hangouts doesn't like you.
Google Hangouts does not like me. It hasn't ever liked me.
Ever. It's only ever really been you, though. It's
Yeah.
and Harold Price. Somewhere out there, Google Hangouts still isn't working for Harold Price either.
But yeah, my week's been pretty dry.
Okay. Dry as in like physically dry? Or
No.
okay.
No, it's been raining.
Yeah, it's been raining all day today
And the day before.
and the day before.
And it's been muggy all week.
It's been beautiful earlier in the week. Again, right when you showed up, Brant. I'm not trying to point fingers here.
You literally pointed a finger, though.
I pointed a hand.
Guess what a hand is full of? 5 fingers in your case.
No. His arrival time is pretty accurate.
Yeah.
It's not his fault, but like to give him an idea of how long it's been going on.
Yeah, Thursday night,
Thursday
Thursday.
evening.
But it was pretty. It wasn't rainy, but it was muggy
It
still
was a little muggy Wednesday. Yeah.
before.
Yeah. But Monday and Tuesday was like 72, beautiful out. It's colder in the morning. It's chilly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Sunday was nice out as well. But you know, like, hey, I like the rain, so you can bring it any day, as long as you bring your sexy self with it. You nasty.
You're being very weird.
This is how I've been all weekend. Don't listen to Brant.
He's been in a state of flux because I think like outside of your roommates and maybe some of the people you've worked with, I'm like the
only human I've interacted with in the past 6 months.
you feel like, you know, after you're sick and you like see the first few people after you feel like not total garbage, and you're like, oh my god, there are more of us.
Finally, I'm not alone.
Exactly. You're like, you have thoughts and words too. Please share them.
Yeah. What about you, Nabashin? Was it dry and muggy for you?
It's been all over the place. Like right now, it's wet and nasty. But like it's been like actually like some good weather as of late.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm talking about.
I've been enjoying. Yeah, I've been enjoying it. Like, I've been working mostly, so I guess I really haven't been enjoying it as much as I would like. But like, yeah, it's been all right.
Mm-hmm. Have you gone for a walk at all this week? The stroll.
No, I regret that too because like obviously I can't do it now. But
Yeah.
usually I do go for walks and just like just to do it because like I've always been a walker. I don't know you guys about me, but like always like walk great distances just because it's fun.
Didn't you like just take a walk at some point while we were in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Just like walks
Yeah.
around.
I walked God, like it was at the Golden Gate Bridge and I walked all the way back to my hotel, which was about maybe like 5 miles, maybe even more than that. It was a long distance and like had to do those hills, which was a bad idea.
Yeah,
It's leg day.
It's leg day all day.
Yeah, but yeah, I got through that, but man, that was woo.
That's a pain in the butt.
That was a
Yeah.
challenge.
I walked from Wing Wings. The first was 2015 from Wing Wings, which is on Haight Street, to some Hilton hotel that was much further north. It was about a little over 2 miles.
The one on Second.
Maybe no, it's further up. It's further beyond that. Yeah, that was a lot, and it was a lot of hills, and I walked by a lot of smelly homeless people, but it was good. Like like walking through the city and just taking it in. It's nice. I too am a walker, so although I usually walk around the lake, that's my go-to.
Yeah, and I also walked around with like for some reason my group of Trevor and Zyger and Joe, Frank, and Cameron and Kaylee, like for some reason like our group was just like walkers. It was like, yeah, let's walk everywhere, and I was totally down for that because like we walked by like different stuff. Like we walked by the Twitter
Headquarters,
like the Twitter building. Yeah, so that was like a cool moment. And, like we all took a picture in front of it. Yeah, like it was great fun just being there, just walking around. I really like walking.
Yeah, we're a month out from that. You excited?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit! I was gonna talk to you guys about that other thing. I'll bring it up once we.
Dutch Crunch.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up Dutch Crunch. No, I'll bring it up once we're off air. But yeah, it was like perfect like room temperature degrees outside. Like I said, it was like 72 and not humid
And then I came.
on Monday, and then Brant came, just everywhere. And yeah, no, it don't worry, I left your name out of this. They won't find it. It's just gonna be you and me for this.
This is gonna be so weird.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't know. There's something to that. When there's not going to be a lot of spring days like this, I know. 'Cause as soon as June hits, it's like June 1st. Doesn't wait for June 20th. Summer's gonna be here fucking the first day of June, and it's gonna be hot.
It's gonna be a hot summer here in Maryland.
In Springfield, Maryland.
Here we're hanging out in Columbia with Alex O'Neill. Tell us about your summer plans.
I did yoga for the first time this week.
Yeah, tell me about that.
It was really good, man. Like
What'd you wear? Actually,
I wore just a t-shirt and these shorts.
you didn't have yoga pants on. You didn't have like a full.
I
suit.
want to get yoga pants, a full suit, like a 3-piece suit.
Yeah,
like,
full piece suit made of the yoga pants material though. So you still look good.
That'd be very hot. I don't know. Like I want to get yoga pants. That's like I once said that to someone of the fairer sex, and I was told that I would look ridiculous.
Which is why you want to do it.
Which is partly why I want to do it, but that was like 4 years ago, and I'm like, fuck that person. Like whatever. Like if I want to wear yoga pants, I can wear whatever the hell I want. They look super comfy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any like good workout shirts. Like when I go for walks, I typically like wear my old high school gym shirt because like it's something I can sweat in and not feel bad. But I've been thinking about maybe like getting a couple like Under Armour shirts or like tighter fitting shirts like that.
I can give you recommendations off air.
Sure. And so did you just kick me?
Accidentally, yes.
I'm sorry.
And you said you're sorry. This is weird.
I'm like that. I'm sorry. There it is again. But yeah, it was cool. It was like I was better at yoga than I thought I would be. But it was really relaxing. It was a little silly at first and like kind of getting over it because I was just doing it through like a video. And then, kind of getting into it, it hurt a lot. My muscles hurt.
Wait.
Go ahead, Scott.
I said my piece.
Okay. I don't stretch enough. And this was good too, because I didn't, for some odd reason, I didn't see this as like a very heavy stretching exercise.
That is exclusively what it is.
Which is
In some
exclusively
ways.
what it is. But there was more to it than that, and it's easier to understand that when you do it. So I don't know. It was really good. It was it's 30 minutes. It wasn't terrible at all. I would do an hour if my body could withstand that, and maybe if there was a little bit more diversity to the positions and whatnot that I did. But yeah, it was good, man. It I felt loose and stretched out, and like I didn't hurt the next day at all. Like I felt pretty good. I woke up early and walked the next morning. So, and I definitely like felt my muscles felt better when I walked the next morning. So I'm hoping to do it at least once a week. I finally made a concentrated effort to try and be healthier this week. I say as I drink my second beer of the evening.
Well, you've also, I mean, it's ironic just because I've started to watch what I eat and drink and stuff too, again.
Yeah.
So we're just both like, all right, what are the outer edges of like vaguely healthy?
Yeah, and we've indulged on a couple of meals.
Yeah, of course.
Here, but
Yeah, you gotta eat. You
I
gotta
have
live.
chaps. Like
Yeah, oof, pit beef.
you can't fuck around with that.
No.
Like, you gotta go big or go home. But yeah, it's good. I don't know if you've ever thought about trying an option, but I recommend
I've
it.
definitely been thinking about it. I do need to be a little bit more limber. I'm a little stiff in my my body, I should say.
I can send you the video that I used. I would recommend having like a yoga mat, which is just my brother has one, so I borrowed that. You don't need that much space, so just enough space for the mat, pretty much. Yeah, it's 30 minutes. It was about 28 minutes, all things told, with the opening and outro. But yeah, it was good. It didn't take long. That was a big thing. It was like I just got to commit the time to do this, and I did, and I don't regret it. And that's like a lot of the things I've been doing this week, like cooking and whatnot. I've been getting into it. I'm having a good time.
Yeah, you're learning. You're having new experiences.
Yeah, I'm winging it when I cook too. I'm trying to learn, trying to just get some kind of intuition when I throw stuff in a pan and start searing it. I'm feeling pretty good about it. The chicken and peppers we had last night was
Quite good.
it's quite good.
Very tasty.
Anything else happen this week, guys? You get up to any other shenanigans? Anything I should know about?
My best friends are real cool. They bought me a Geralt necklace from out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's rad.
That's super sweet. That's a really nice necklace too.
Yeah.
Man, now I have to look up what that necklace looks like.
It's like the wolf, the school of the wolf.
I believe you can find that on Instagram.
Yes, you can, and you can also
You can find it on Instagram, Alex.
you can find that's the same symbol that's like on the Witcher 2 box art, I think, as well. For your reference, Scott.
I just Googled it because that's better.
Yeah. Google is the true image king
Google images.google.com is like Instagram for everything.
for all things to all people.
Yes.
Yeah, that was really cool. It's a nice necklace too. Now you got that. You get your Wayfinder. You're all set.
Those are probably because I was thinking about because like the Wayfinder that Justin gave you and me, like just out of the blue, that's like that. I always kept that, and like I've been keeping good care of that because like that was like one of the first like out of nowhere presents because like I always like to do that with my good friends. I just like to like get them something like really special. Like, oh, I know you'll like this. I bought it for you. You'll love it. And like I never expect anything in return, and like just to get something out of nowhere for something like that, that's like crazy special. So like that's why I always kept my Wayfinder, and now I got this Gerald School of the Wolf.
School of the Wolf, man.
Yeah, and just like fuck, man, like because Katie she won like in a raffle. She got like custom perfumes and stuff like that, and different like stuff from The Witcher. Like she got like those Orons, those little coins that you get from that game, and like she got Ciri's necklace, and like she got like the lilac and gooseberries perfumes that she can make herself. She had to smell for Yennefer and Trish and Ciri. So like she was really excited about that, and like she just fucking just gave that to me, and like she gave it to me with the caveat like, oh, when I'm ready to cosplay, I don't have to take the back. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, but like, fuck this, thank you for giving that to me. And anyway.
Yeah.
So
That's cool.
Those
I do want to point out just real quick in our live chat going on, Logan Wilkinson, obviously a writer for IrrationalPassions.com, did say, wait, is this Brant Range of Irrational Passions Donkey Kong 64 fame? And I'm happy to say yes.
No, it was a different man.
That's a different Brant Range.
I died that day. Now I'm Brant 2.
Yeah, when I fucking beat your ass at Donkey Kong 64 multiplayer.
Donkey Kong 64 is really. It comes up every time. It haunts me. This game I didn't
It's,
like.
It is embedded in your history with Irrational Passions.
I know.
You'll never get away from it.
Yeah, whatever. Mega Man X is better.
Yeah, I could probably get behind that.
Yeah, you should.
There's no about that motherfucker.
Mega Man X is like Instagram, and Donkey Kong 64 is like something that would be worse than Instagram. It's just they're both video games.
I'm allowed to like both. Cool. I'm glad we found some kind of middle ground.
Yeah, but like one is really way worse than the other one. You could probably have lived your life only playing Mega Man X.
I mean, I've lived my life up until now, having never played it.
Yeah, I understand that. I have to fix all your problems.
Why we gotta make me hurt? Like everything is at the expense of me.
I'm just saying, because I've done things. I've played Mega Man X.
You have. You played a lot.
As a kid, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's all I got. You guys want to start the show?
Is this the show?
Is this the show?
Sure.
This is not the show. This is my goddamn show. I'll tell you, it fucking works, Brand.
All right,
I
Garnet.
swear to God. Come over there. You guys ready to start recording? Do you need to take a pee break? Do you need to take a pee break?
I'm solid.
Good. Do any of viewers at home, do you need to take a pee break? Let me know in the chat.
They could pause and then keep playing.
No, I wouldn't stop for them. I'm just teasing them. They could pause the video is the thing, yeah.
Well, what they should do is they should follow everyone on Instagram.
NATO's Gaming Corner, NATO Johnson says false DK64 for life.
Yes, but that's just a false thing. It's fake news.
That's selective news.
That's alternative facts.
Yeah. Nate said I gotta pee, so I guess we'll wait. No, I'm just kidding. All right, I'm gonna hit this record button in a couple of seconds. I hope you're ready. Make sure this is tweeted out and lit up like street fire.
Lit up.
Whew. Well, in case you missed it. I love that on Twitter, in case you missed it.
Did you want to talk about Fast and Furious movies?
I did talk about it.
Okay.
It was a couple weeks ago, I think.
All right.
It was very brief, but I did see Fast 8 since last we recorded.
How was that?
There is like the last like, I don't want to say, it's not like really a scene, but like sequence in that movie is one of the most goddamn ridiculous things I've ever seen. But overall, it was pretty good. It was better than Fast 5 for me, but not as good as 6 or 7. A lot of people give Fast 5 too much credit, I think. It's fine. Like, it's good.
Are you also going to say Too Fast, Too Furious is the best movie of the series too?
I've not seen Too Fast, Too Furious.
Are you also going to say that Tokyo Drift is like one of the worst movies? Because this is a continuing thing I've seen.
No, I skipped all those movies because I do not care about movies that are about racing. So like I just wanted to see the movies that were about like dumb shit. So I've seen one a long time ago, which was like fine. Like I watched it because it was on TV. I wouldn't have watched it if it wasn't on TV. It was pretty boring, I thought. And then I watched 5, 6, 7, and then 8. And I liked all of those movies. Plenty. 5 was like the weakest of that group because there's like really long preamble setup. And it like halfway through that movie, it like hits the ground running. And it's like, I wish this had happened sooner and I would have enjoyed this more. And then Fast 6 did essentially just that. And it was great all the way through. Mm-hmm. So
I feel I have a duty to watch all those movies before I get to San Francisco. So
I would be really curious to see what your impression is. Like, people keep saying, like, you have to at least go back and watch Tokyo Drift. Watch the trailer for Tokyo Drift and tell me if that is like at all selling that movie, because it doesn't, and it looks terrible. It looks like an awful movie because of that trailer.
Like the only Fast and Furious I've ever seen is just the first two. honestly. I think my parents owned the first Fast and the Furious movie, and like I seen Too Fast and Furious like randomly somewhere before, but like that's all I ever really seen in those movies.
Oh god, there's some opinions going on in the chat about Fast
Yeah,
and
of
Furious.
course there's gonna be some damn thing.
Logan says Fate 8 is terrible. It's really not. It's very enjoyable. It's very silly though. Like I think they really let go of any hold on like anything. Like any kind of reason in Fate 8.
How many people in the chat are furious at how not fast this conversation about these movies is going?
No one actually. They're all into it. Just you, buddy.
I think there's two people here.
There you go.
It's fair enough. A lot of hate on Tokyo Drift talking. I don't.
So are we ready to start recording?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right.
Got to the chase.
There we go. On 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thanks for stopping by, Griffin. I hope you have a good evening. Hope all is well.
Speaking of
man.
stopping my audio track.
What?
Never mind.
Somebody said something in the chat. That's all. Let's see. We got the doc here. Do you want me to share the doc with you, Scott?
Sure.
I would be very curious to hear what you think about Fast and Furious option.
I think I like it. That seems to be probably a big theme that's going to be at KF Live 3. So
Yeah, there's
I
probably
probably
some jokes
know-
made.
yeah, I should probably know what that movie's about. That franchise is about.
Yeah.
I guess the three things that you probably need while you're at kind of Final Fantasy 3 is a Switch, Mario Kart 8, and know about Fast and Furious movies. At least that's what it seems like. Projection.
The kind of funny live starter kit. I don't have Mario Kart 8 still, and I still don't think I'm going to get it. So, all right, let's roll. Oh, I have my inhaler now. That's a big thing. Give me a second. Gotta puff up.
Oh God, it's been like this all weekend.
Yeah, I've been hitting this thing left and right. God, I need it. So I got my inhaler refilled now, Mission. You can stop worrying. I know you're terrified.
Yeah, I was.
Breathe deep. It's a StarCraft password. Cheat code.
What does it do?
It's 500 minerals.
Damn.
Or no, I'm sorry. It's 500 Vespine gas.
I'll show you some Vespine gas.
Breathe deep. There is no.
I mean, what's it matter if you need to construct additional supply depots?
Pylons.
Pylons.
No, that's
I mean,
the
depending on
process.
how deep in the game you are, yeah, you need some more depots, but you must construct additional pylons.
You must. All right. It is Saturday, May 6th, 2017, and you are listening to the Irrational Passions podcast. I'm your host, Alex O'Neill, and with me this week we have Scott Guthier,
Hey,
Brian Nobishin Jackson.
Who turned out the lights?
And joining me this week in my room with me, in my bedroom, in my room, in my space, Brant Range is here.
Follow me on Instagram.
At BRange.
I think it's Brant.Range on Instagram.
Is it? Okay. You got the
At
full name.
BRange is on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Brant.
Hey.
Welcome back to Maryland.
Yeah, I started driving and I ended up here.
Yeah.
It's convenient.
A lot of mistakes were made.
Yeah, I'm still amazed that I can get here on less than a tank of gas.
That is cool. I feel like it would take more for Nobishin to get here, I think. You're like tucked away in Virginia. Do you can get here on a tank of gas?
A full tank, yeah.
Okay.
How many hours does it take you to get to Alex's house now, Bishan?
Probably. It's about 3.5 hours.
Yeah, and
about
I'm
the same.
about 3:45 up.
Equidistant.
Yeah, that's how I decided where I wanted to live. I wanted me and Nobishin to be equidistant from you,
Okay. That's good.
and I decided I needed to be where I was.
As long as you're close enough to come by and say hi,
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, you're always welcome.
Thank you.
It's good to have you back. We had some shenanigans. We went on some adventures.
Yeah, I've been here for a couple days.
Yeah, we didn't hear about that in the bonus content. One thing we didn't talk about. Well, I mean, we didn't talk about going into Baltimore, but like we do that every time.
That's true. It's awesome.
We went to that bookstore, which was cool.
Yep.
You took me. I've never been in a bookstore like that, and that was cool. I wanted to say that during the bonus content, so this is just a little inserted bonus content.
I took Alex to a used bookstore you didn't know about, and now it's been.
No, it was an experience. Like I seen the wall-to-wall stuff, the records and the CDs as well, and like the kind of secondhand comics. I bought a jazz CD there that you were pretty excited about.
Yeah, Art Blakey's great.
Yeah. So we got a good show lined up for everybody listening or everybody watching at home.
You don't set expectations. You set them high. You're not like, we're about to start the show. You're like, this is gonna be great.
I didn't say it was gonna be great. I said we got a
great
good show.
No, so I think it's great.
It was definitely good.
I think it's great.
I've been saying good show. We got a good show lined up for everybody here.
Now you did.
Because you gotta get people in the mood, right? I'm back. I apologize for not being here last week. Tony's not here to apologize, so I guess he doesn't fucking care. No, Tony's off hanging out with a friend. So, but thank you to Scott and Option for holding it down last week. You guys did a great job. Short, sweet, enjoyable to listen through my ear holes.
You want to tell me how wrong I am about my opinions on Zelda?
No, I don't think you're wrong.
I'm being
Don't spread this rhetoric though. I don't want to be.
no. I'm sorry. I didn't.
No, it's just like that's like we got to get away from like the my opinion is wrong conversation. I'm so.
But I mean, like, how can you say that when you're still backing Snapchat?
Well, listen, we don't have to start this either. Again, I don't like these kinds of conversations.
Alex, it's okay.
I like the inclusivity of like we like different things and we have conversations about them that don't end in us hating each other.
We're never gonna hate each other, I don't think.
Well, try me. But yeah, like no, you guys had a really good talk about Zelda, and I texted you saying like, hey, like even if at the end of the day I still feel differently, I really liked the points that you guys brought up. And if you haven't listened to last week's show, you should go seek that out. Brandon, you've played a lot of The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild.
I have played some Zaldo, yes.
And you like it. And I'm sure we'll talk about that at some point on this week's show. In the meantime, if you want to go to irrationalpassions.com and check out some stuff, you pretty much mentioned everything that is going on Novition last week. Big thing being My Oregon Trail. Logan Wilkinson played through Oregon Trail again recently, the old PC game. And just he wrote this immaculate piece from the perspective of his characters in Oregon Trail, his trailers, and kind of their journey and the stress he felt in the game, but through the lens of the people experiencing it, and kind of like what that journey must feel like, and like kind of empathizing through almost like a historical perspective of it. It is just so good. It's probably my favorite thing he's written. It's one of my favorite pieces that is ever published on irrationalpassions.com. I cannot recommend it enough. It is like this beautifully told story from the first person perspective in a video game. And it is absolutely worth your time. And there's like this moment toward the end where he kind of breaks out of the character to talk about Oregon Trail. And the way it ends is just perfect. So you need to drop whatever you're doing, pause the podcast, stop listening, go to irrationalpassions.com, click My Oregon Trail. It's on the front page still, and read it because it is absolutely worth your time. And I highly recommend it. We got a couple other things coming. There's 4 articles I have to edit. One's been through my first pass edit that I sent back and wanted to get a little bit more out of, and I haven't gotten the chance to go back to from George Cruz, which is I don't even know if I want to spoil it, but I do want to say
good.
I want people to expect it here. So it is the Lost Oddities on Deadly Premonition, which I'm really excited to see kind of the final version of that he sent me. So that will hopefully be up this coming week since I've already done a pass at that. And then I wrote the first thing that I'm going to be writing about Persona 5, which is kind of the equivalent of my review. It's not a review. I didn't want to do a review on that. It is similar to what I did for Uncharted 4 last year. It is, I call it a critique because it is critical to some extent, but it is like more based around emotions and feelings and my thoughts through that scope, through that lens, than it is like a traditional review. So that'll hopefully be up this week. Review of What Remains of Edith Finch will hopefully be up soon, and maybe a couple other things that are in the works. So, IrrationalPod.com. I know Monday I'm hoping to have my Persona thing up, but we'll see. Sorry, I've been cleaning out the pipes.
You're on the mend.
I'm on the mend here. In other news, I'm trying to think. Anything else? I think that's it for now. I guess it's worth mentioning if you're going to be in San Francisco at the beginning of June for Kind of Funny Live 3, Nabsh and I are going to be there as well. You got your plane booked this week, right?
It was like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Or a week ago. It was a while ago. Yes, I got it booked.
So you're booked, you're set, you're ready. I'm ready. I'm excited to hang out with you. Danny Juarez got his plane booked this week as well. So it's gonna be good. I'm stoked. It's gonna be a good time if you want to hang out with us. There might not be a show that week. I'm gonna assume probably not. We might take that week off. So just heads up. And then the month after that is gonna be 7 years of Irrational Passions.
7 passionate years.
Yes, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I think so, at least. So let's get into the show. Let's talk about video games. I'm curious, Brant, what do you want to talk about? What games you been playing, man?
Oh, goodness gracious. So after not playing video games for a while, I played a lot of Zelda for the Switch when that came out, which it feels like it's been less than 2 months since that game has come
It's
out.
been just over 2 months.
I'm
since
sorry.
May
I
6th.
thought it was 3/9, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's 3/3/15
Yeah.
or 17. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
I mean, yeah, maybe your Vertigo is contagious. It feels like it's been there forever. Like I played that game for a long, long time, and I'm like, was there a life? The game is so good, in my opinion, and I had so much fun with it that I'm like, oh my god, did that game actually exist? I went through like waves of experiencing that game and being like, oh my god, did it actually happen?
Are you done with it at this point?
For the time being, yeah.
Yeah, because you were talking about it before it came out, and then we talked about it a little bit after it came out, and we were both playing. Because you at some point said I had to go and beat it like much sooner in the game than I did, because then you had no inhibition, like no inhibitors from going out and exploring.
Right. I played the first 2 Divine Beasts and then like 50 more hours. Then I was like, I want to just like play the Divine Beasts in the same way that you're like, that you can say like, I want to do shrines or Korok seeds or side quests. I just decided to make my quest the main quest.
Yeah.
So I played that, and now I'm replaying the Game Boy Advanced JRPG Golden Sun, which I haven't played since I was 11, I want to say. So now as a 26-year-old, I'm appreciating it in certain ways. There's some parts of that game that have not aged very well. Like there's way too much dialogue, and the dialogue does not justify how much there is of it. Like it is not great. The story is pretty good, but the dialogue is really stupid sometimes.
Okay.
But mechanically, it still holds up. Graphically, it even holds up. And I'm having a lot of fun like revisiting that game. Because I was like, you know how after you play a certain genre of game, you're like, you might get in the mood for something a little different, where you're like, I've played a lot of JRPGs, now I want a platformer because I don't want to worry about like level grinding or whatever. Like after Zelda, I was like, I'm in the mood for like a turn-based 2D JRPG, and now it's like coming home to like a place that I haven't been in a long, long time, and being like, I know the names of the characters, completely forget what the hell they do.
Yeah.
And now I'm appreciating it even more than I did back then. Or at least on another level now that I've played 15 years more worth of games. And I can kind of pick it apart a little bit more.
Yeah, I had like the benefit of going from Zelda to Persona 5, which
Right.
are like very different kinds of games. Both like RPGs to an extent, but very, very on completely different spectrums.
Yes.
But I mean, it has been to an extent nice to have like the next big lengthy warm hug to roll into after rolling out of the first one, right?
Right.
Like for me it was, and I'm just repeating myself here, but for you, Brant. Like I rolled Resident Evil 7. I played. That was kind of like my first thing of the year, and then Tales of Berseria, which I ended up finishing. That was like 76 hours or whatever. I didn't expect to actually want to finish that right when I started it, but I powered all the way through that. Then like 60 hours with Neo, and then 100 hours with Zelda, and now 130, I think, I'm at with Persona 5. So like it's just been like rolling over one side into another thing, and just kind of like sitting on each side, just taking it all in. So yeah, I mean there's something to say for coming out of one big long game into another. Just has to be the right other big long game.
It does.
Is that all you've really been playing? You brought this NES Classic here.
Yes,
and
we've been playing video games.
We've been playing a lot of video games together.
So you had, if I'm not up to date on anything. I have no time for anything. So you apparently had opinions on the NES Classic.
Yeah.
And now, having used the NES Classic, how do you feel about it?
It's really rad. But like the things that are rad about it is the Nintendo. Like I didn't expect so much of the Nintendo Touch to be in the NES Classic.
Right. You just expected it to be the classic.
Scott and Nabashin, you guys haven't used it at all, right? I imagine not, because only 3 exist. So, and 2 of them are in this house right now.
Fact.
Well, like, so it's got a cute little UI with like NES borders at the top and bottom, and it's got like a idle screen that is just like big pixelated Marios and stuff. It's got like CRT filter mode that you can turn on. That's actually pretty cool.
Save states.
It's got each game you can have 4 save states in. And like there's just like little UI things, like when you pop out of a game, the save state will be flying with little wings over the bottom. If you press down and then hold A, like the save state like slowly scrunches in to replace one of the empty blocks. And it's like there's movement to the interface, and it's the kind of stuff that you would expect from like a Nintendo interface. Like it reminds me of doing a system transfer from 3DS to 3DS, and all the Pikmin take all your stuff from one to the other. It's got that kind of charming vibe to movement of data.
Yeah, and that's what infuriated me about the NES Classic getting discontinued. Not that this hasn't been discussed on the podcast before, but I was kind of blasé about the NES Classic. I was like, oh, that would be really, really cool. And then I happened to, I don't know if anybody follows Wario64 on Twitter.
I do, yeah.
I do.
Yeah, he tweets out all sorts of like deals and availabilities and stuff.
Yes,
and so,
he's
like,
the dude.
Like one day, it was before I went to Croatia in January. It was like literally the day before he tweeted out like, "Oh, it's available." And so on a lark on Amazon. So on a lark, I like bought it for myself. So it was actually me getting it was surprisingly like easy.
That's right. You came back from Croatia and it was waiting for you, right?
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, this is like kind of cool." And then I got what was so cool about it. Like conceptually, 30 NES games, like it all sounded good on paper, but I think once you play around with it, you get what makes it so special and desirable.
Yeah, for sure. Like, and using it, it's like, and we've talked about it. I've already committed to the idea of like, if there's a SNES Classic, I will be there day one. I'll be ready for the bullshit that I have to put up with to get it. Mostly because that system holds a lot of love for me, and we've been talking about that system in particular a lot this weekend.
Yeah.
But like seeing that kind of love and affection treated to that platform would make me even happier.
Yes.
But yeah, it's definitely like playing it. I will say this: like it feels more like a deluxe item, with the fact in mind that it is now discontinued. Now that I've used it, right? There is like so much to it.
Yeah, there's more. It's more complicated and like put together than you might think, especially for something whose MSRP was $60.
Yeah. But Logan Wilkinson, someone who writes for the site as well, like he went through heaven and hell to get one, and then like got 2 controllers and like played a bunch of multiplayer games with like a friend of his, and like he had never played the NES. Like the console he grew up on was the 64, so going back to that was interesting for him, and like he played through the original Legend of Zelda for the first time and hated it and then loved it and went through this kind of evolutionary experience with it. So I don't know, there are experiences out there too that are like postmodern nostalgia that I think they're interesting to have with that thing too.
I think that's the categorization of the Irrational Passions podcast.
Yeah, postmodern nostalgia.
Yeah,
That's actually really good, since we do talk about nostalgia a lot here
exactly.
in a very weird way.
So that's been my video games, but I'm interested in what everybody else has been playing.
I've been up to some shenanigans. I missed last week, so I want to make up some time here.
Sure.
Let's start with
Flint Hook.
Yeah, we can talk about Flint Hook. I've been playing a lot of Flint Hook, and I've been talking a lot about Flint Hook. And I on the stream, like I got through the first boss and everything. I've been chipping away at the second boss. I want to stream it again too. If I was in better spirits and I didn't have 0 storage on my computer because of Extra Life Video, that's still destroying me. Still working on it. I've made a lot of progress this week, I'm happy to say, but that's still a plague holding me down. 3 videos left. The last 2 are pretty short. We're almost there, guys. But the third to last one is 3 hours and 45 minutes long. I would stream more if not for all those arbitrary factors. But I really like it. I got to the second boss for the first time. Like I had a really good run. I died. I didn't get through the boss. But it was like my first time getting to the boss and kind of seeing it. But it was cool. It was kind of the boss that they teased at the end of the original PAX demo that I had seen. So after I beat this boss, everything that I see in Flint Hook will be completely new. And I'm really excited for that. And there are 5 bosses, like 5 major bosses to hunt for, I believe. And that game is just super great. There are so many more factors to it that I really like. So each level, for your reference, it's like a roguelike, but it has elements of both the Binding of Isaac and Rogue Legacy in there as well. Mm-hmm. So there's like a meta game where you have a black market that you can unlock permanent upgrades through between runs. Mm-hmm. And then you essentially choose a target and make a run at them, and that is your run. So you have to complete a certain amount of levels to get to that target to then hopefully beat them and be able to unlock the next target. And those levels you just get to choose from any random 3. They're going to be random anyway, but you'll have different like instance factors on each level. So like maybe one will have a swarm of these like bee enemies in every single screen, or maybe one will have a map in it that will make it easier, or maybe one is more likely to have more money but more dangerous enemies, stuff like that. So you can see these factors and you've got to kind of like learn and memorize them in a very Binding of Isaac way. Like it reminds me a lot of that, in that you kind of get a visual for it, but you have to learn what that visual means. And it's cool. It's clever. Like you've been playing it too, Scott.
Yep.
I don't know.
The first boss, and that's where I experienced the first death.
Yeah. Did you just get to him, or did you beat him?
No, I just got to him.
Okay.
I was running through. I was like, where's this black market that Alex keeps talking about? Where is this? How is this all working? How's this? And then I started noticing that, my health is carrying over for every new ship that I do. And it's not ever replenishing, no matter what kind of series I do, until I noticed that I was up at the first boss, and I was only there with 45 health. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's rough.
That's about how my first run went as well. So,
but then I leveled like 5 times.
Yeah.
After I died.
So is that like all you've done is just like that one attempt?
That one attempt is all I got to.
Okay, so you haven't gotten a chance to play around with the meta stuff yet.
Nope.
How do you feel about just the game and the way it plays?
I think it plays fantastically.
Yeah, I agree.
One of the odd things about the game is they could have very easily opted out of the control scheme they had, mm-hmm. and went twin stick for the moving and aiming, mm-hmm. and left the most important buttons to the triggers.
So now that you've finished a run, you'll be able to unlock the ability to hold your place and aim with the analog stick.
Yeah, you didn't let me finish.
Okay, I'm sorry. Sir.
I was about to say I'm very glad they didn't.
Yeah.
Because with all the mobility that you have initially, with all the tools that you have to use simultaneously because of that mobility and how fast you have to do everything, that 4 buttons is not enough.
Yeah.
It is. You cannot take your hands off the you cannot take your hands off of the buttons for actions and your button to aim. Mm-hmm. You have to have both at the same time, and just mapping it to where you're moving makes a lot of sense, especially now that after I died, I have the option to hold myself in place.
Yeah.
or lock my movement.
Yeah, like I think there is a world in which Flint Hook is like you're shooting with the triggers and aiming with both analog sticks. There's a world where that works, but like it's cool that they did something different, where like your movement stick you also can aim with, and like you're also aiming your hook that you're grabbing these hooks and swinging yourself around with that same stick.
I'm not so sure, because there's a lot of games that fall into that pitfall of having too much to do, but also having a twin stick shooting controls. And that is where they cap the difficulty.
Yeah.
That is where that limit hits place, is where they generally cap the difficulty.
Yeah. Again, I don't know if it would be as successful, but I'm glad they stuck with the control stream that they do have.
I think that's the reason that they have it in the first place.
Yeah, probably. They know better than I do. That's for sure. And I've gotten the chance to talk to them a little bit. And it's cool. Like, I mean, the last game they did was Mercenary Kings, which was also very rad. This game is really rad. Are you feeling pretty good about it?
Oh yeah, I was in when the opening cutscene started playing.
Yeah, that's a good opening cutscene, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Good. It felt like
shake your head, Brant. I saw that.
I'm just saying, in from the opening cutscene.
Brant's got to get movement first.
Yeah, I got to at least get to the name select screen before I know what I'm in.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
That is until you watch this opening cutscene.
It's a good opening cutscene.
Is it
probably the best this year?
Best opening cutscene of the year?
Best I've seen in.
It's not as good as Persona 5 for me, obviously, but I wouldn't fight Scott on that. I know he probably wouldn't like that opening cutscene. It's very good. Like it's like all pixel art. It's got a lot of personality. The music's awesome. So
it's all the makings of a good opening cutscene.
I can show it to you later.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm glad you're digging it, Scott. I'm excited for you to play more and kind of get more into the meta part of that game, so I can hear more of your thoughts on that. But yeah, Flint Hook's really rad. I'm gonna try and get everybody here to play it. Everybody on the show to play it.
There's very little that you can do. There's very little justice you can do to how well the Flint Hook works, the actual hook part, until you put it in someone's hands.
Yeah, until you play it, right? That is exactly what I told Jarrett at PAX, and I'm like, I just need you to fucking play this game. And he played it, and he's like, all right, I'm in. I was like, I know. I did the same thing with Logan, and I don't know if I got Danny to play it, but Barrett Courtney, friend of the show, I got him to play it at PSX last year, and he was like, yeah, this feels real good. So yeah, I'm with you. So if you're listening, and I know a lot of people who do listen did go out and buy Flint Hook. Like I know Andrew Taylor just got his physical copy of the game today. So don't sleep on Flint Hook. It's really rad. I do wish it was available on something like a Vita, but also the way the triggers work. I hope it comes to Switch. I'll say that. I think it would be really cool on that system.
I love the Switch.
Yeah, it feels like a good like handheld game, but it's also great on the TV. So, I played more Persona 5. I've finished Persona 5. We talked about that. I'm going into the third palace on my second playthrough now. Have you played any more New Game Plus, Nobshin?
Yeah, I just finished the second palace like a few hours ago.
Okay. Yeah, I will say this. I didn't get the chance to say it last week. I have a much richer appreciation for the opening of that game now that I've seen it a second time. And maybe it's just because the way that game opened, like the immediate opening of that game is like referential to a later part of that game. You know, I've talked about it has a cold open before. But like seeing that again, it genuinely gave me chills, and feeling it again, just feeling everything that I felt again. And yeah, it's just there are parts about it. There are like little things that I didn't notice before. It's the whole Persona New Game Plus experience that I wanted, and it's also really cool just like having maxed out stats and just being like, I can do whatever the fuck I want, and being like great at everything. So that I've been enjoying it even more on my New Game Plus, which is fun, and I've started seeing some of the confidant stuff that I had not seen at all in my first playthrough, because I would be like, I'm just gonna not do this on this playthrough because I don't want to. And I'm immediately like, this is actually really good. So, which was true of all the other social link equivalent. So yeah, that game is something special. So it's the one to beat for me. I also played the Prey demo. Did you talk about this last week, Nomishin?
No, because I may have fired it up, but like no, I did fire it up. I just didn't like spending time on it because it was after work and I was like real tired, so I didn't really pay too much attention to it.
Yeah, I feel like I mean, that game just came out yesterday. It's Bethesda published, so obviously it wasn't really out in proliferation before release. But I feel like the premise of that game has been pretty well explored out there. It's out there. It's known. So you're like on this space station where shit immediately goes raw. But you slowly find out, and this again all stuff that I saw in the opening hour demo. You slowly find out that you're part of this experiment, right? They put this like this brain, I forget the word they use for it, like an augmentation in your brain to give you the powers of these weird kind of like shadowy figures to try and like create a symbiote of human genome and these shadowy figures through this like augmentation that they've created that they've managed to do cool stuff with outside of like morphine and gene splicing, but they're like, we're going to try this. And you like willingly entered this experiment. But when you take out the augmentation and then put it back in, like when you remove an augmentation, you forget everything up until when you initially before you put it in. Mm-hmm. So you have been living this same day over and over and over again for, it's ambiguously, I don't know how long you committed to this experiment ago, but it seems like 2+ years, where you wake up, you put this thing in your brain, you try and do this experiment, and then it doesn't work out, and you end up going to bed, and they take it out in your sleep, and then you wake up again, rinse and repeat over and over and over again. And they have you in this simulation so that you don't freak the fuck out when you wake up. So it's a really cool science fiction justification for the premise, for like the opening scene. The whole simulation thing all falls apart very quickly, though. I would have liked to spend more time in that. But then you get out to the space station, and it actually reminds me a bit more of like BioShock than it does of Dishonored, which I thought it would remind me more of Dishonored because it's the same team or like the same studio, maybe a different team. It's very good though. It has like the Dishonored hooks in it, in that like there's a lot of really good, like most of what I just relayed is I found through environments and kind of looking at emails and whatnot. So it has a lot of that, but there's also this is like this beautiful regal station that feels like everything just hit the fan, which is not true of BioShock 1, more true of BioShock Infinite, but it reminds me more of BioShock 1. You come to BioShock 1, I think you come to Rapture like, was it like 10 years later, or at least a couple of years later. Mm-hmm. But everything went to shit on New Year's 1959 or whatever. And so all these New Year's decorations of 1959 are still up. So you are like going through this kind of last day in Rapture. So it kind of has that vibe in that it feels like something just happened, something big. But that was just the opening hour. Like the main enemy you see throughout the opening hour are these like little, they're called mimics. They're like little shadowy tentacle creatures. They kind of look like the original creatures from that first-person shooter XCOM game. They remind me of that, but they will like copy and mimic just a thing sitting in a room. And then when you get near it, they'll just jump out of it and attack you. Like they'll change back into their blacky, inky form. It's terrifying, but it's cool. Like it's got really good vibes. And BioShock in space is, I think, a good comparison. I don't know how far that goes, but I want to play it. I want to see it. I just haven't had the chance to pick it up, but I'm hoping to get into it.
Does your character speak?
She does. I play the female character, but you don't speak, but your character speaks. Does that make sense? So, for example, you play Morgan Yu, right?
Yeah. Because just like you, when I started it up, started the demo, I played the I chose the female one to see like the difference, if there was like anything, but I didn't get any interactions. So the little bit I played it, I didn't even know if your character even spoke or not.
So the interaction I had, like eventually you make your way back to your office before you were kind of like roped into the experiment. I don't want to say roped in because it seems like you willingly agreed to this experiment. You go back to your office and you play a video recording that you left for yourself in the scenario in which things went to shit.
Oh, okay.
And you see yourself talking, and you talk and you have a voice. So yes, and I'm curious to see if they play around with that at all. But I thought that was pretty rad. So yeah, it's got really, really great world building.
Okay, so here's the
vibes.
question.
Yeah, sure.
Do people talk to you,
Yes.
but you just don't respond?
In the like the one interaction that like, or one or two face-to-face interactions that you have in that opening hour, no.
Would it have made sense for you too? Think
Maybe-
about the way Link talks, but then he just doesn't. He's giving a reply, he's giving a reply. Is there any sort of that? Are you expected, and do you give a reply?
It would be like only in like one word or brief sentences if you were to speak, so like they can get away with it, you not speaking. I didn't
Is
see
there
any
a dialogue tree? Not
There's
really.
I didn't see any dialogue options.
Okay.
I feel like that could be a possibility in the future. You do have like one of those things where it's like you have the Atlas equivalent, some like radio voice kind of telling you to do things that you never respond to.
Well, of course.
Of course.
It would be weird if you responded to them.
Yeah, I mean, you have a device, I believe, that talk back to them, but because you have the device that they use to talk to you. But yeah, so I kind of like the idea of you only talking in the context of you, the previous you that had all of your memories, because that's kind of cool. That kind of separates the player from themselves in a weird way. They'd have to play around with that idea, though. If they do that, I want them to explore it, and that's not something I would be able to tell from the opening hour. You have like a stamina meter though, which is odd because it plays like Dishonored. At the very end, I got a gun, and that gun did not feel good to shoot. I will tell you that much. It was like a silenced gun, but still, it was like, this is not a fun gun. You get a goo gun, which I can't make that shit up.
Not Gugan. Gugun.
Not a Gungan, a goo gun that shoots like globs of goo that like solidifies. So if you shoot enemies with it, like they get like a hard, crunchy exterior of goo around them, and then you can run up them and hit them with your wrench. But yeah, I found it much more enjoyable to hit things with my wrench than it was to shoot anything. So that could be a problem. A few hours in, I
don't see a problem with it.
I mean,
I don't see a problem with it at all.
I'm sure you don't, Scott, Mister Wrench aficionado over here. But
I think that's just called a mechanic.
Oh, fair enough. But as someone who, like, I don't know, that's a first-person shooter game. So I imagine if you get guns that are more useful at the end and they still don't feel great to shoot, that could be an issue. But we'll see. I want to play more of that game. It's got good vibes.
What's the general vibe from the game, other than like it's kind of like Bioshock in space?
It's creepy, right? The mimics they jump at you. There's music cues that is very loud and scary that goes with those jumps.
Oh, it has Zoom music. I heard.
Zoom
Like
music.
Like when you scope in or something like that. Like it has like little music. Like has the little music that plays with it, but does it have music any other time?
I think so. I think like I only did it once in that demo. Like look down sites. Yeah. It's creepy. It's got like the science fiction vibes of it are very good. Like the cyberpunkiness that it's going for is very good. But I don't know. It's hard to tell. It has a little bit of that like perfect technology driven future intrigue to it, but I don't know how far it goes in that. Because I get to the atrium of the space station, and it's like, hey, this is going to be your hub area that you're going to go off to all the other areas of. And I'm like, okay, that sounds cool. I like the idea of this as being more like if Bioshock had a hub as opposed to you kind of like linearly going from one area to the next, because that might give it a little bit more of like a open worldish vibe, but like level based. So I don't know. it's good vibes. Whatever those vibes may be, they were working for me. So, and the only other thing I've been playing is Mega Man X, which Brant found out that I had never played.
Yeah, I needed to fix that.
Namish and you obviously very much love Mega Man X.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite games. So.
Brant, you've probably fallen the familiar camp.
Yes, I love that game.
Which is just that. So we're like, all right, we're gonna record this. And that's gonna be a let's play that goes up, and that's just gonna be a bunch of people really angry at me while I play the game because I'm playing it the wrong way or whatever.
The problem is that multiple times during the let's play, Alex is like, I am not gonna do thing X, and thing X is the solution to the problem he's facing.
Yeah, we go and fight like fucking Wilford Brimley or whatever.
That's like a reference that
What's
no one's
Spark
gonna get.
Mandrill? Like what?
Yeah, Spark Mandrill, that's it.
Okay.
See, he got it. He immediately got it.
He heard Mega Man X and Wilford Brimley and was immediately like, yeah, it checks out.
Yeah, Spark Mandrill, and I'm like, and like going through the level up to that, I'm like, I'll never fucking use this ice gun ever. And then Brant's like, oh, this is going to be interesting. I'm like, what's going to be interesting, Brant? And then we get in there, and I'm like, I die like over and over again. And he's like, just try different things. And then I try the ice gun, and he freezes immediately. I'm like, oh, well, here we are. And then we have like a 15-minute conversation about boss's weaknesses and how I didn't think that was going to be a thing in this game for whatever reason.
But the thing is that Alex, as he's playing, here's it's a little preview of the let's play.
Yeah.
Is that Alex is just like, oh man, I'm gonna do this thing because I know in Mega Man games, power, like enemy bosses are susceptible to a specific power, and then does not employ that piece of knowledge at all. He goes on to go back to another stage and being like, well, I'm not gonna try ice because like ice is never gonna work against Wilford Brimley. He's got bigger problems.
Yeah, Wilford Brimley's fighting diabetes. Why the fuck would ice work against him?
It's one of the it's an incredible thing, and I just kept saying like,
but I'm like logicking it out. I'm like talking my way through the game, and you get to hear my whole thought process.
yeah, but it happens multiple times afterwards. You're like, well, I'm surely not going to use this power, and I'm like,
but I try it. Like I get there eventually.
yes, because I'm like, you might want to rethink that. It's quite good.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a turning point where I learn a hard-earned lesson. And Chill Penguin is a fucking asshole, and he sucks, and I hate him.
Alex does not think he has much.
Chill
skill.
Penguin is not chill at all? What did I call him? The dumb fucking penguin?
I believe that was your eloquent phrasing.
I've got nicknames for all of the Robot Masters, and you guys get to look forward to hearing them. Wilford Brimley and dumb fucking penguin just being a couple of them. We recorded 13 episodes of it, and I'm like in the last area.
Yeah, you're on Sigma level 3.
Yeah, so I don't know how many there are, but we'll find out.
It's next time on Alex Plays.
Next time on Alex Plays. It's good. We have fun.
Yeah, how do you like the game, legitimately?
I really like it. Like, you know, obviously I've never really played a Mega Man game outside of Mega Man Legends and Legends 2.
Right.
Rest in peace, Mega Man Legends 3. I told you I played like a little bit of Mega Man 0.
Yes.
For either the DS or Game Boy, whatever the collection came out on.
It's DS.
DS, there you go. And I liked that. It was hard, but I liked it. And I, honestly, like having played Mega Man X now, going to Mega Man 0 would be easier to say. And I lied. I played the Mega Man Battle Network games, which are completely different and play completely differently.
Right.
But I have played. That was, I think, my first Mega Man game was those that I played by myself, because Legends I would end up playing mostly with my brother because I couldn't figure that shit out.
Yeah, my favorite.
Watch that.
Yeah, my first Mega Man game was X. So you get to see Alex get progressively very good at the game.
I get better. Let's not say good.
No, you're good.
So, but I've never played like a traditional style Mega Man game where like you pick the grid of bosses, you pick one, you go and fight it, right?
Right.
I've never played any Mega Man game like that. So I obviously picked Chill Penguin first because I watched Sequelitis and Aaron said that's where you get the dash ability. So I fucking went for it and yada yada, so on and so forth. But yeah, like the beating bosses, getting bosses' powers, and I talked about this in the Let's Play, like using them. I feel like no one ever uses the boss's powers. I constantly use them, especially that wind turbine one. That one's real good. and like using them against other bosses and finding secrets and the also hidden powers that X just gets, like the helmet and shit. Like finding that stuff. That's really cool. Like I really like Mega Man X. I'm not surprised that the Mega Man of the Super Nintendo era is one that I really like. I tried playing a little bit of Mega Man 2 and it was just a shit show immediately. Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
I like it's beautiful. The music is fucking awesome. Plays incredibly well. It holds up super well. I mean, obviously, I don't think this kind of game would necessarily at this point in my life end up as one of my favorite games of all time, but like I really appreciate it. It's good having context for this. I mean, Mega Man is massive lineage of video games.
Yes.
And X is like that, the Super Nintendo ones, you know, the really rad ones with the 16 bits.
Yeah, I have not played much X2 or X3, but I will be. They're on my gaming bucket list.
You played all of them, right, Namashin? All the X games?
I played all the X games up to X6. X6, which I got to the end. Yeah, because like well, it's X7. That's the travesty. I did play X7. X7 is like the when it went 3D and just became completely terrible.
Garbage.
Yes, exactly. X6 was just like stupid hard. Like it was just stupid hard. I got to the end of it. I got to Sigma. Spoiler: Sigma's in Mega Man X6.
Shit.
But
Thought it was
yeah.
Bowser.
Yeah. But like yeah, I never beat that game because it was like impossible to get there. And then like as soon as like I got there, like I just never went back to it. But like I beat all the other Mega Man X games. Like if I were to rank the Mega Man X games, X1 is probably X1 is definitely the best, I will say, but I have a special place in my heart for Mega Man X4. It's dumb anime bullshit in that game, but like I really like the game a lot.
You know, I love dumb anime bullshit. So.
After those two would be like X3, then definitely X2. I don't really like X2 all that much, unfortunately. Then X5 and then X6. But yeah, good games.
Yeah, I'm growing appreciation for them. I really like it. Makes me kind of like want to go play more Mega Man Zero as well, because Zero is obviously in Mega Man X, and he's very rad. He's got long hair.
Yes.
He's got a sword. Do we see the sword in Mega Man X? Is that a spoiler?
No.
Okay. Damn. So it doesn't get the sword until that Mega Man X like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think in 3.
Okay. He gets the sword in Mega Man X3. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
And he does get the sword in Mega Man X6. Spoilers.
Okay. Yeah. Can you play Zero in Mega Man X1?
No.
Bullshit.
You could play him in 3.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we thought. We had theorized this because Brandon not played it, and we were trying to take a look at it. Yeah, I like Mega Man X.
It's so weird too, because like Zero died in X1.
Right.
You find his pieces in X2 to bring them back together, and you had to do it in a certain way, either because like it was like something like guy, like you have to either fight him or because like whatever the antagonists of that game were trying to like gather Zero's old pieces to like bring them over to their side. But like if you do it a certain way, you can have Zero put back together and he comes back to life like that. X3 is when you can play as Zero. Like it's kind of bullshit the way like if you play as Zero in that game and if you die as Zero, like I think even once, that you can't play him for the rest of the game. So like you only have him like one time, so that kind of sucks for that.
Damn.
X4 you can play either X or Zero. They have their own campaign. Same with X5. The same. He dies in X5, and then like X6, you can
Go ahead, option. You'll get there.
I don't know, like in X5, like it was like the Zero virus. That was the thing in that game.
Oh,
the Zero virus.
Getting some Resident Evil shit here.
Yeah, it's like a whole bunch of lore that I just like realized I know about Mega Man X. But there was the Zero virus in that because there was a Sigma virus, and then like it transformed to the Zero virus, and then like it was destined for X and Zero to like fight each other because they've been teasing that Mega Man X1 in the end credits, but like they finally fought each other in X5, and like
there was Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, it actually is.
And then like there's a scene where like Zero kind of dies, but kind of doesn't really die because like he's in X6 later on. He just happens to show up and appear. Man, yeah, that game.
Question, Albert, did you play the PSP remake of Mega Man X1?
I did. Those are good.
Are they good? Brand said they're okay.
It's a
I
good
mean,
game.
listen, any Mega Man and Mega Man X, any way you can get it is good Mega Man X. But like, they didn't do well enough for them to make any more.
Okay. It's the 3D sprites, right, in the PSP one. Right?
Yeah, it's like a 2.5D adventure.
Okay. But it's the same game?
Yeah, Mega Man X is so good.
It's very good. I can vouch for that.
Yeah.
I like it a bit. I'm excited. I hope people watch that series.
And then Alex plays 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Probably not, but just don't get angry at me, okay?
I just want them to release. I want them to release the Mega Man X Legacy Collection.
Yeah, that would be right.
That'd be pretty cool.
Go ahead, Nobishin.
Did you beat it?
Mega Man X? No, we're still working on it.
Okay, because
I'm
I will.
planning on it.
I will actually like to have a let's play of you two when you actually beat the game together. Instead of move to another one.
We beat
Pokemon Snap.
Snap.
Okay, that's true.
We beat Yoshi's Story, which never went up, but I uploaded it the other night. So
Okay, so we did. There's another.
we beat Kirby and the Crystal Shards, but we didn't get the true ending,
No, we didn't get the true. We got the evil ending.
which is whatever.
We're like,
They're actually not that different.
yeah, I know. I watched the YouTube version.
Yeah, me too. I'm pretty sure we watched it together.
Yeah, probably.
It's
garbage.
So we beat 3 games together.
Yeah, we didn't beat that one game that's really bad.
Oh, which one?
You know, that was the bad one.
No, which one was that?
No, the one there was like there was 64.
How many characters can you play as in that game?
There's 64 of them.
60? Really? I thought it was 5.
64 bananas.
Come on, say them with me.
64 bananas.
Diddy Kong?
Oh,
Tiny Kong?
uh-huh.
Lanky Kong?
Yeah.
Come on. Chunky Kong?
Uh-huh.
Donkey Kong 64. That's what I'm talking about. Fucking watch those 25 episodes and change your goddamn life.
That's such a bad game.
You should at least watch us play it because we have a very good time.
We have an
playing it.
interesting time.
Interesting is a better word.
Anyway, we'll beat Mega Man X.
Yeah, we'll beat Mega
Alex
Man
will
X.
beat Mega Man X.
I'm on. We have 13 episodes recorded right now. We'll probably be able to do it in, 2 more?
Hopefully, yes.
God, I hope so. I feel like I just got to the dinosaur that has like a car underneath of it. Like it's a dino. Like the top of the part of it is like a dino with with teeth coming down, and there's a car that it detaches from.
The
and comes
monster
down.
truck thing.
It's like a monster truck.
I mean, I'm surprised you got through all the bosses that fast. So that's good.
It's really funny the when you have to fight all the robot masters again, and me getting through that a second time. That's good, except for fucking Decoy Octopus, fucking piece of shit.
Dr. Octopus.
Dr. Octopus, Decoy Octopus, whatever his fucking name is.
Mega Man X gonna give it to you.
Why would they put Kawanger at front? I hate him.
Boomer Kawanger is an OP. OPOG.
Fucking Boomer Kawanger.
Kawanger.
Kawanger. There's a lot of me being affronted at the verbiage in that game. I'll tell you that much.
Yes, and calling him Wilford Brimley.
And then we actually fought. There's a Wilford Brimley face, like a whole wall. Anyway, watch us play Mega Man X. Nabisha, what you been playing?
Nothing too much. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Yeah. How is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe?
Is it really good?
It is really good. It's very good even. It is that game again.
It's a very good game.
Yeah, but like just like playing it anytime I want to, playing with my nephew. Like I was in the kitchen and like Vernon had to do his chores or whatever, and I called him down. I'm like, hey, come do your chores, and like when you're done with this, do a couple of races on Mario Kart, and that's like, and then we'll just like I just actually brought the fucking screen down, and we just sat it down. We did the fucking commercial where we like played it together. So
did you high five?
If I had a rooftop party, would you come over and play Mario Kart with us?
Always.
Isn't it great that the dumb rooftop party shit is like happening in real life, and people are like, "This is weird how this is real."
Are you guys gonna play it on your flights to San Francisco?
I'm going to bring my Switch and play that.
The Nintendo Swatch.
The Nintendo Swatch. I don't know. I don't know if I should probably get Mario Kart 8 before that flight, but I don't know.
You could do some 200 cc's.
I just don't want to spend like the full price on it. That's where I'm at right now.
That's fine.
I'm okay like buying it again, and everyone's playing it, and everyone keeps asking me to play with them, which thank you for asking. Absolutely, I'm not trying to be mean about it. I just don't have it.
God damn it, Zyger, leave me alone.
Yeah, please, fucking no, but thank you. I mean, also like I know I'm not very good.
Well, yeah, not with that attitude.
Well, listen.
I mean, he also runs off the cliff a lot.
But
So,
now we have
Only
this.
on Rainbow Road.
We have the auto steering mode.
That's true. But like everyone's like, yeah, 150cc is easy, and I'm like, well, no, it's not. And I don't know.
Yes.
I'm really self-conscious about my see like that opinion.
Wake up, do yoga, play Mario Kart.
Okay.
The new Alex O'Neill routine.
The new Alex O'Neill get your life together routine.
Yeah.
And when your head starts spinning, just lay down.
Sounds like a pop song.
Yeah. All right. Let's write these lyrics down.
Yep.
I just don't know. Is it worth it now, Mission? I'm asking you.
Probably. Like,
Okay.
but like, it's totally worth it. But like, it's more of like, if you're in the mood for something like that, because like for me, like I've been playing like 100-hour RPGs for like the last like for 5 months, and like I just need something simple, something I can just turn on, turn off like instantly, and like have a good time with, and that's been filling that hole for me. So like, when I'm playing Persona 5, I'm playing that game, and I've been playing more of that game than I've been playing Persona 5 right now, because I beat Persona 5, so just like,
Yeah.
So that's like been there, done that. But like, it's just been fun, just like turn on like the Easy High podcast and like just playing Mario Kart at the same time while I'm watching that. So that's just fun.
Yeah, it would be nice to have like a podcast game again, because the games I've been playing haven't really been podcast games, except for Flint Hook. Flint Hook's good. I don't know. Like I my thing is like there's no progression in Mario Kart 8. I just get it and then I have everything.
That's a personal progression.
Yeah,
You get better.
I get better, sure, but like I don't know. I'm just in a weird spot with that game. I want it. I just want to Dolphin.
Don't do it.
I want to listen to the Dolphin Shoals level music over and over again for the rest of my life.
You want it to wash over you.
Yeah. I just want to drop some hot bars from that fucking. It's very good. Very good. Dolphin Shoals is like, man,
Yeah, I know. He's got those gel imprints in your shoes. It's a really good thing.
fucking. The music on that level is really good. What else, Mission? What else have you been playing?
By the way,
Yeah.
you should probably double check your Best Buy for your Gamers Club unlock. That might be up by now.
August 2017. I already know. Don't worry.
Okay, I'm just looking.
I
out for you.
appreciate that. It's good. It's good looks.
Yeah.
Is it still like $35 to renew that?
It's like $30. Yeah, it's still $30.
Okay, cool. I'm waiting for them to send me that email because they're very excited to send me. It's like, stop fucking getting good deals on video games. Like, nah, I got this.
Persona 5 we already talked about.
Game's good though. Just to let you know.
Which one?
Persona 5, that video
Yeah,
game?
yeah,
It's quite,
yeah.
It's quite good.
Yeah, totally, definitely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Another good video game, fucking Nier Automata. I just like I fired that up again for whatever the fuck reason. No, I know the reason. Because I was playing Zelda, and like when I was playing Zelda, I was listening to the Waypoint spoiler cast of Nier Automata.
Mhm.
And that kind of fucked me up. And like I was like, I need to play the game again. So I just started like a little bit of it again. I played maybe like an hour or two of it again. Just like remembering it. That game is like super special. Like it's like
I'm very excited to play it.
like if it wasn't for Persona 5, like my god, that game, like seriously, because like there's a lot of things that like I just like miss or just like completely over my head, and like listening to that podcast and like hearing like some of their experiences, because like there were some experiences that I was like, oh yeah, I was totally on the same level of that, like it's what they were feeling at that moment, and there was like shit that like I didn't even know about, or I didn't like put two and two together, and then it was like, fuck man, like yes, it was so good. That's a quality spoiler cast. Like other than like our Persona 4 Golden spoiler cast is probably my favorite spoiler cast like I ever listened to, because like it was just like this the conversation, not really about like the gameplay or anything like that, but like more of like just their stories and the things that they experienced playing that game, the feelings they felt when playing that game, and like
Yeah, I'm really like, because Alex had like, he shared like a little anecdote on a recent Beastcast about like when you play through the second time and you hear like this big giant NPC characters like thoughts or whatever, and just how like that fucked him up. I'm like, I'm ready for that. Like I want that. And I'm really excited to because like those three, Patrick, Austin, and Alex. Patrick and Austin from Waypoint and Alex from Giant Bomb for listeners' perspective. I'm excited to hear. That's a good crew for a spoiler cast. Just in general, I'd like to hear them talk about pretty much any one game. So, especially hearing all the conversations on Waypoint Radio about Nier Automata. Yeah, I'm excited to eventually hear that and eventually play that game. So, it's on my list. I think that's July for me. I think I've that's going to be the month that I play that.
But when are you gonna play the other games, my dude?
I mean, listen, Nobshin, pick your battles. You can either have the one that's relevant for Game of the Year this year or the one that's not. So,
No, dude, no joke. Danny just beat 999. It's out of the blue. He fucking just like put it on Twitter, like, oh, I beat 999.
He's your boy, man. He's looking out for you.
And like, cause like
he played on DS as well.
Yes,
he was a good boy.
Yes. So, like, I was freaking out at work. I was having such a bad day at work. So terrible. And then, like, Danny just like tweeted that at me, and I was just like freaking out. I was like,
did you guys text about it at all?
Yeah, we did. We totally did.
Good.
Because it was so good because like there's no one to really like vent about like something like that game to me for me, like, or at least like, I mean, there's people to talk to, but like, you know, Danny's a good friend of mine, so like it's like having a good friend talking to another good friend about like something that like so good and like make me feel like I'm not fucking crazy, because like I kept saying that over and over again when it was like I'm not crazy about how good that game is. And like when he told me like all his experience and like him, like, and we're like on the same level of shit, it's just like, yes, like I was so happy.
That's a spoiler cast that Patrick Klepek, Alex Navarro, and Austin Walker should do. So
Patrick did an old spoiler cast about it a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, 999 people play that game and talk to me about
Don't sleep on 999.
it. Play on DS if you can. I still recommend that highly, but hey, there's a Vita version. If you want to play that,
Brant, you love visual novels. You love anime. Anime.
I'm a weird boy.
Hey, man, I don't think you're weird. Like, listen, after all the conversations you and I have had about the most specific shit, like, obviously I'm on your side for this. July is a big month. Do you think it would take me all of July to beat Nier Automata?
It's a 40-hour game.
I beat Persona 5 in 2.5 weeks. And that was 102 hours.
Dear Lord.
I know, I have a fucking problem. Zelda took me the full, like, 3 to 4 weeks. It took me, like, the whole time.
Zelda's so good.
I crunched on that game. I ate it like peanut butter.
It shouldn't take you the entire month of July, but if that's a time window that you would have free for one game specifically, yeah, you can do it.
Yeah, and I can't think of anything coming out in July that I really want to play.
Yeah, you could probably beat him like.
So I could probably knock out 999 as well, because those games aren't as long, but they aren't very long. So
yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Got to.
I'm with you. Either choice you make, you have my blessing.
Okay, I'd just rather play Nier just because I know it's going to be relevant for our conversations at the end of the year. And that's fresh, and I want to be part of that conversation.
Is that PS4 exclusive still?
That's Xbox One as well, right? No. Nier is PS4. You're right.
PS4 and Steam.
Yeah, and PC. Yeah.
So I can pick it up.
Yeah, for sure. That was I think it was like a week or two afterward for PC. So yeah, that might be one for you to look at too, Scott.
You might want to still wait on the PC version though. I think that's still kind of funky. That port was like not good. Like I don't think it even had like I don't think it's full screen. Like there was a weird bug with that. It was weird. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Apparently, the Prey PC port was planned on not being porked, but I don't know. I haven't followed up on that, so hopefully it's good. What else, Nabashin?
Other than that, a little bit more Breath of the Wild. Put like 10 hours of that.
Wow. Okay, that's substantial.
Yeah, like I haven't mentioned this on the show. Like I've been talking to Danny about this a little bit, and like I also mentioned this to you a little bit. Like the certain intimidation factor of playing. I think I talked to Scott about this too. About playing Breath of the Wild now. It's more of like because it's been so long, and it's like like I watch like there's videos posted online, and there's like there's videos online, and like I just watched like Gerard the completionist, one of my favorite YouTubers, like saw him 100% beat that game. I didn't watch him do it. Like he did his review of that. Like he talks about like completing that game and how that game broke him because he had to like get everything in that game because that's his thing. It's his mantra for his
He's the
YouTube.
completionist.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But like seeing like where you have to be at the end of that game, and me being like 30 hours in and not being anywhere near that, that's just like it's just disheartening to me.
Yeah.
And like I said,
it depends on what you want to do in that game. Like, I'm assuming you don't want to 100%.
no.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't even want to do that.
But it's like I have an artificial goal set for me, which did something weird to how I play the game.
Okay.
Something really weird to how I played the game.
Are we gonna loop back around to that?
Sure, I was about to anyway.
You can you go for it.
I'm taking a crack at Ganon after I pick up the Master Sword
Okay.
before I do any of the Divine Beast stuff.
Okay. Do you know what happens when you do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Then that is why, because I also know what happens when you do it afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I want someone to know what that's like. I want someone
like at the end of the year to have that perspective.
And honestly, there's a very good chance that that's worth it, and there's also a very good chance that it'll be a waste of time for me to go back and finish Ganon after I do all the Divine Beasts.
Yeah. I mean,
depends.
My big thing is like play that game the way you want to play it, you know, and like I think that's cool. Like I think that's a cool way to want to play that game. So, and my thing to you, Nabishin, real quick, would just be like, I think there's no place that you have to be when you get to the end of that game, because like there are a lot of things that you can do to make it so you have an easier time with that game, as far as like if you're having trouble or whatever. And like everyone is going to be at different places when they get to the end of that game. Like my brother Brady, he had to finish a whole 120 shrines before he went to Ganon. I didn't, and I was fine. I did like 90 or whatever, but like I would have been fine going back later. I was just like, I just wanted to go through each section of the map. Like that was my whole thing. Was like I got to this section, I got this tower, and now I'm gonna comb through this section of the map. If it includes the Divine Beast in one of the races,
so be it.
Then I'll do that as well. Yeah. But like my thing is just going from each section to each section and just like clockwork around the map and just doing it. So like whenever you feel like you want to do it, just do it. But like I don't think there is like some specific list of things you need. There are things that you can do that'll make it easier. Finishing all the Divine Beasts will make it easier. Getting the Master Sword will make it easier. You don't have to do any of those things, which is cool. So I would say like don't be looking so far ahead that you can't see the road in front of you. How's that sound? There's an analogy for you. But like you also like talked a little bit last week about like the whole kind of like how you felt about Bloodborne, when Zelda is like the thing and it's like all encompassing and it's engrossing all video games around it and it's all anyone's talking about, and it's like everyone is so quick to say, yeah, this is the best one ever and blah blah blah, and it's like you want to be removed from that hype and that conversation because it is overwhelming. Like I'm not going to deny that, and that's why like as much as for me that game really resonated with me personally, but like I'm honestly more surprised that it didn't put more people off. I think there's reasons for that, but like that's going to depend on the person that plays it for sure. But like yeah, if you want to take some space from it and like come back to it when it's so evergreen that like
yeah, I know that.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that also, because like you ended up really having a good time with Bloodborne, it seems. So I think that might lead to you having a better time with Zelda, and I think having a better time with that game, with that investment, is more valuable than being a part of the conversation. So I'll say that, even if you're on a video game podcast, because sometimes you're just gonna hold out on the Nonary games until it's really the right time.
Yeah, like what I'm probably gonna do with Persona 5.
Yeah, I'd honestly be really curious to hear what Scott says about Persona 5, but he's just not going to play it in 2017, so he doesn't ruin all of our fun at the end of the year.
Actually, I
Actually,
might
you should.
just to ruin the fun at the end of the year.
Honestly, you.
I would love your opinions, guys.
Yeah, I would love
good or
your opinion
bad,
too. Like,
I would love it.
like you had like a really interesting take on Persona 4 as well. Like even if you didn't end up loving it as much as I did, like that's fine. I think I like your opinion on video games, so that's why I do a video game podcast with you for fucking 7 years, Scott. So as it turns out, yeah. So I don't know, like, and I appreciate the diversity of opinions that you guys have brought to the table with Zelda as well.
I think like in the end of the day, I should like really just like take the lesson I got from playing her story and just like know like God, what was that lesson in that game? Now I'm thinking about it because like it was something about like
You were like done with it at some point, right?
no, because like the whole point of that game is like you can leave it anytime you want to. You don't have to like get everything in that game. Like is this about like gathering information and everything like that? There's no real ending to that game. It's ending when you're done playing that game, basically. That's the whole point of her story. And yeah, maybe I should take that more to heart.
Yeah.
I've been saying
Right,
that I
right.
100%
Because like
that game.
that's the big issue with Zelda as well. Because it's the same exact thing. It's the game's not telling you to do anything. The game is there.
Yeah.
It's done when you're done with it, whether you do anything in that game or not.
Yeah. You could just run around fucking killing boars on the Great Plateau for 100 hours and then walk away, like, for all I care. Like, you could do that. And
The Great Plateau. My God.
I think that's rad. Like, because that was my thing. Like, and I was going to bring this up, Brant. Like, you played through the 50 or 60 hours to beat the story, and you wanted to beat the story so that you could go back into the world, and there was no like overarching thing to finish, right? You could just then freely roam around. And like you could at that point, like with the chains off, like you could walk away at any time. Yeah. I don't know how much more you played before you walked away.
No, and again, like just life gets in the way. I'll go back to that game and I'll play more of it. But it's just like a treat. I just like pop in. I can like play an hour. I can explore a place that doesn't look like it has enough shrines in it, and kind of like find more nooks and crannies.
Yeah,
and it's great.
There's gonna be more of that game soon too. That's
so
news. I remember that now. So.
Yeah, that's also news, by the way.
But yeah, I don't know. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah.
But like at the very least, like I'm glad that we've all had our own experiences with it.
100%.
I still like I don't know where Tony finished it, right?
Did he? I don't know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
I'm pretty sure he did because he did start Persona 5, and I think he wanted to finish Zelda before he did that. But yeah, I'm curious to see where Tony was at the end of it because he was like, it seemed like he was on the same page as me where he was really into it, but like he did all that weird stuff with like min-maxing stamina and hearts and.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. I don't think I don't think I've heard Tony's like overall conclusion of what he feels about that game.
I know Danny he's like blown away by it.
Yeah, me and Danny have been talking about it, so yeah I know how enthusiastic about that game he is.
Yeah, so. How about we take a quick break and then we come back and we talk about Scott's games and some news. How's that sound?
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
All right, we will be back in just a little bit. Apparently, some people were upset because of our Mega Man chat in the live chat.
Oh goodness gracious!
Whatever.
Battle Network is the BioShock 2 of Mega Man games. Take that as you will. And Logan said, "God damn it, Nobishin." And then Nobishin said, "Never played Battle Network, just wanted to see the world burn." And Justin said that this actually kind of hurt Nobishin.
I'm sorry.
You do have your moments. It was good. I'm proud of you. You're channeling your inner Scott, and it's probably for the best. I need to get a drink.
Yeah, same here. I'll be back.
I just like the tweet out of context. Fuck y'all, Pirates 2 is so fucking lit.
Yes, I'm gonna go get a beverage myself.
Yes, indeed. Right.
Yes.
I'm trying to ruin you. So when you go back home, you're like, I'm never going back down there again. Until 6 months from now when you forget all this pain.
I'll go. Yeah, I mean, we'll get everything wrapped up by midnight.
Yeah, no, we'll be fine.
I'll pass out, wake up at some unholy hour, and drive home to New York, and then do a day's worth of brain time.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna have a day's worth of Alex time. I'm pretty excited about it. Maybe I can see Guardians in the morning.
Yeah, man.
Shit.
We should take a look at those movies then.
Yeah, I should. Hey Siri. When is Guardians of the Galaxy 2 playing tomorrow morning?
Okay, I found 9 theaters. West Nursery.
Okay, we're good. I got it from here. Thank you. IMAX 3D at 10 a.m.
Oh, I'll be long gone.
Ooh. 10 a.m. IMAX 3D. I have a Fandango gift card. We all back? We making some noises?
Yeah, I'm back. Got some water. Ate a banana. I'm good.
You ate a whole banana?
Well, I mean, first I gathered like 6 bunches around the house. But yeah, then I ate one.
I have a question for you, Scott.
Huh.
I'm really curious at your take. Is it possible to eat 2 bananas?
You can eat like 3.
Back to back to back?
Wait, what are we talking
Back to
about?
back to back.
Are we talking about in real life or in a video game?
In real life.
4 you might hurl. But like,
so
you're
my
not going
question-
to like to eat the second banana.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I can't get through a second banana. Imagine with me, you eat a banana. Can you eat another banana immediately afterwards?
I mean, I could see myself eating a whole bunch of bananas. Like a
Really?
5 banana bunch. Is there something that I don't know about bananas?
No, I just like
Well,
someone brought this up, and it's a good.
Is it like potassium? Like, is there something that I
no,
don't know about
there's no like
bananas?
scientific nature to this. It's just that
You personally.
after I eat, it's not just me. Like
it's a lot of people.
I think this got brought up on
There's
Game
an analogy
Grumps.
around bananas. It's you eat a banana, great banana. You eat a second banana, all right,
like-
this banana's pretty good. You eat a third banana, like okay, I'm not going to like the next banana. After. You eat the 4th banana, and you're like, okay, I'm not sure if I even like bananas anymore.
That's very good.
Should I like maybe
I'd really like to try this.
Can you keep going?
maybe for
Yes.
extra life I will like Skype in
Skype in and just eat a bunch of
and
bananas.
eat a but you can make
People
a
will donate
donate
$20
a
for every
donation
banana.
incentive.
Okay, yeah.
If people donate a certain amount, I'll eat like 5 bananas in 2 minutes.
But like, yeah,
It's just me eating bananas.
No, no.
Nanners.
I would pay for this. I would donate charity for this. But no, like my thing is, like, and it was a conversation that I think I heard it on Game Grumps. You eat a banana, like getting through to the end of a second banana is impossible. Like I've tried it.
What the hell is going on?
I can't do it. Like one banana is like the perfect amount of banana.
I just think you're a wimp.
Maybe. I mean that's fair, but like I just don't.
Why?
I
Is
mean,
it the
No,
texture?
what's happening to you is 100% was 100% valid. What you're feeling as you're getting to that last bit of the second banana, 100%. But I think like when you get there, you're just wimping out.
I mean, I could
I think
finish
you-
it if
I
I
think-
wanted to, but I would not be happy.
But you're
Exactly,
perfectly
exactly.
happy with the first banana. Like
yeah, the first banana is good, but
you're
like
you're enjoying it. But is there a turn toward the end of the first banana where you're like, I have reached peak banana?
yeah, pretty much. Like when I finish banana 1, I am like, this is peak banana. This is the banana balance of my life that I've been looking for.
So you're like, all right, I'm in pajamas. I'm gonna eat bananas. But then you get past the first one, you're like, banana.
Banana. I was going to eat banana, and that was all I wanted.
You rip your pajamas in half.
I'm just saying, like, eat 2 bananas and tell me that it's easy. That it's easy.
That is the most
You
crazy
can,
thing.
No, I'm not saying like do it ravenously hungry. I mean like the realistic scenario where
So
you
I get home from work.
you get home from work, you're not hungry, but
I've got a bunch of like a literal like a single 5 banana bunch of bananas. I keep them on top of the fridge.
cool.
I have 2 off. I take 2 off from the bunch.
Yeah,
And I sit down. I pour myself like a glass of water,
yeah.
and I
You eat them one at a time.
I eat the first banana, and I see how I'm feeling.
Yeah, and then eat the second banana.
All right.
I want like because I heard someone say talk about
have you ever
this.
done this before? Have you never had 2 bananas?
I've done
like
this
in succession? Or do you
I've
just
done
not
this.
remember?
Or have you done this?
I don't think I've ever shotgunned 2 bananas.
you see, there we go. Yep.
It could be different if you did it. That's what I'm saying. Like,
But I've eaten a lot of it. Are there any other foods? Like, because I've seen you eat a lot of things in succession. Is it just bananas that are vibing
there's
you?
something about bananas. Like bananas are filling, man.
I agree with that.
Bananas fuck me up, fam.
A lot of potassium. This is why you're supposed to eat them when
I
you're
don't know what
hungover.
it is about the bananas, but yeah, I came to this conclusion after bananas was the only fruit in the house.
Yeah.
And I just kept having banana
Anarchy.
after banana.
Bananarchy.
I was like, I
Because you
don't-
can
I
either
want
starve or
some-
eat another banana.
But I don't want another banana.
Yeah, exactly. Like, Nabashan, have you tried this?
No, like I've never. I can't even think of a situation where I would want more than one banana. Ever in my
Exactly.
life.
Like, you never, there is no situation where 2 bananas is like the allotted amount of bananas.
Have you ever eaten 2 apples back to back?
Yes.
I've done that.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Yeah. But like, I will say there's like a strat to that though. You can eat 2 apples, like just off the apple, but it is easier for me to slice apples and eat 2 apples.
Sure.
But that's easy, yeah. I've eaten like 4 apples back to back.
What is everyone's opinion on banana bread?
Banana bread is fucking delicious.
It's fucking, yeah, I agree.
It's my go-to dessert.
Fucking, yeah.
Like
but
I make it. I'm talking about my signature
Oh,
like
shit,
making
man.
dessert.
Ooh, yeah.
Next
Never
time I
had it.
come, I'll bring.
You never had that machine? I think you like it.
I think that's just a little too much work. That's why I do cookies
Yeah,
and brownies are
it's-
real easy.
Yeah, too much work for me, Brand.
No, I'm telling you, I have it down to a science where I can the longest thing that you have to do is cooking. Irrational about cooking.
Difficulty. It's the mashing of the bananas.
No, listen. Oh, horse hockey. I'm gonna take this. You give me a fork in 45 seconds. I'll show you some swished bananas. This is no problem. I just think about my
I'm
hatred
not,
for that
I'm
game
not
we played.
saying that it's difficult. I'm saying that it's too much effort and I'm lazy.
It is not too much.
It's too much effort for Scott.
It's outrageous because you put it in the pan. The first thing you do is you have the loaf pan, right?
Yeah.
You put the bananas in there, so you mash them. So you're not. It's not anarchy, and you're doing all sorts of other flipping
Okay,
flaps.
this is already a better method than I do.
Yeah, because you that's the thing is that if you have everything in separate bowls and you're combining it at the end, you know that as the banana bread cooks for the like 90 minutes that it needs to cook, you've got a sink full of dishes, and that'll put you right off.
Yeah, true.
That's outrageous.
Apt.
Yes. So I have like a two bowl method where all the dry ingredients are in one, and then I have a bunch of the wet ingredients in the loaf pan, and I add the dry to the wet, and it works out that we have the loaf pan, which is going to go into the oven anyway, and then you have the one bowl which is full of dry ingredients, so it's not that big of a pain in the butt to clean, and it significantly reduces the amount of time that you have to spend in the post banana bread
Society,
putting together.
yeah. I got it.
Yeah, exactly. Construction, if you will.
I like this.
And it's a whole thing. Maybe we'll do a cooking with Brant and Alex next time I'm down here, and I'll show you.
I made you dinner.
How
show
about
cook with you.
how about Alex films it and it's cooking with Brant and Scott?
All right.
Sure.
All right.
All right, that's fine. And we talk about banana bread and we debate it.
Yeah, no, Scott and Brant go bananas. That's what it's going to be called. NATO brings up a good point in the live chat saying 2 bananas in a milkshake. That's good. That's fine. That's fine.
What's the problem with two? I'm gonna have to. This week I need 2 bananas.
Try it. Just try it, and like maybe you'll get it. Just text me at 3:00 in the morning out of nowhere on like a Saturday and say,
I'm under an overpass.
I'm halfway through my second banana. This was a bad idea.
You know what I'll do? I'll make it into an Instagram story,
Okay.
which is the best.
Full circle.
The best way to show people things.
What'd you say, Scott?
Which is like the way to do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then you could also just Twitter.
Yeah, I could do Twitter live. I'll Facebook live me eating 2 bananas. I didn't know this was a thing.
Yeah. So
I really didn't know.
I heard it like in a conversation on like I said, I believe Game Grumps, and I tried it, and then I got through the second banana. I was like, God, no, and I couldn't do it. I couldn't finish the second banana.
Did it put you off from eating bananas for a while?
Yeah, it did.
Because it put like there's an aversion there.
Yeah, I mean, like now at this point in my life, I'd probably be fine. But like I know my
How long
banana
ago was
limits.
this?
It's probably like 7 months ago, maybe.
Oh, here's a nice fact about it.
Sure.
The riper the banana, the more you feel it.
Oh yeah, no, F that. I'm not gonna have a super ripe banana. Guess what happens when a banana gets super ripe? Make banana bread.
Justin said, "There you go." Justin says, "I think the IP crew should just make a banana podcast. I could listen to this for hours."
Bananas are really good. I like bananas. Have
All
you
right,
ever made
okay, so what you're going to do
bananas
is
Foster?
you're going to retcon in news and gaming to when we start talking about banana bread, because this counts as news.
No, I'm gonna add this into the show. This has got to be in there. I'll probably put it as the bumper at the start.
It's really good.
It's probably too long. I'll see if I can put it as a bumper in the middle.
It's one of the greatest conversations we've ever had.
Probably.
Bananas Foster also a really good way to use bananas.
Okay.
You can because it involves fire.
We have to bring the show back now.
I don't think so though.
End banana podcast. All right, you guys ready?
Let's
Yeah,
unpeel
right.
the next section.
How many banana titles did you work in there, Nabashin?
Just one.
Okay.
Stop talking about bananas. That'd be a really good one.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
All right.
Hey, welcome back.
You're welcome back.
Man, this
Thanks.
is such an appealing podcast.
Yeah. Don't start this. They'll hear it. They'll have heard the conversation.
I'm
so.
just saying.
Hey Scott, what you been playing, man? Outside of Flint Hook.
Outside of Flint Hook, I could have gone into more detail, but okay.
Hey, if you have anything you want to add to Flint Hook, I'd love to hear it.
Off the top of my head, I'll just do it real quick. The
Yeah.
tutorial's nice.
Yeah.
The menu's hard to look at.
Yeah.
It functions, but I don't know what it is. I can't tell you why. But I have a difficult time getting through the menu.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have a hard time finding anything I need in it.
Yeah. I agree with you. There's something off about the UI that like I haven't been able to put my finger on, but I think that you
Right,
put
so
it, you
it's,
put it well.
if he's listening ever, don't worry about it.
If the designer is out there listening,
Yeah, don't worry about it. It's too
it's
much.
fine. It's functional. It's just
I like how the tutorial works.
gets the job done.
It gets the job done. It tells you what you need to know. You don't have to give a shit.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen. Like, I took the bomb and I wasted it.
Yeah, me too.
And then I was like, oh, okay, I know how to use bombs now. So I killed the guys without the bomb.
Yeah.
I just kept moving.
Yeah.
I kept fucking up the time slow thing, which real hard to use.
Yeah, the time
When you're
belt
actually
is
going.
tough. It's I don't know. That's the thing. Like you get perks that make the time belt easier to use. Like one is your hook moves at the same speed, whether it's slow down or not, which is good. And another is just like the time belt lasts longer, or you fall slower while you're using the time belt, stuff like that.
Mhm.
So there's stuff that makes it better. You're digging it though. It seems
Oh yeah, this game's real good.
cool.
Controls well. It's got.
It's got
I
good
like I like
style.
how the difficult scaling's moving along
Yeah.
because it's quick enough to let you get used to the controls and have a lot of room for error.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry, it starts off slow enough for that, but it gets quicker. It gets much harder at a much more reasonable pace,
Yeah, and
and at a. I want to say it's quick, but it's a reasonable pace, and it doesn't leave you. Oh, hey, I can handle more than this, but I have to sit through a bunch of easy scenarios.
yeah, it's cool because like when you get the 3 cards to pick your next level, when you're like going from level to level 2, you can pick the harder one, right? If you're like this is too easy, you can pick the harder one and you'll get rewarded for it. Like you'll get more money and stuff. So that's cool. Like
Is there a harder one? Like, how can you tell?
so it'll show you the levels that you get to choose. There's like 3 cards and like there's a little skull with a number next to it. So the higher the number next to the skull is, the higher the difficulty.
They've always been the same for me.
Yeah, it might have been that just for your first run. So
Okay.
the first run might be like a little bit more regimented, but they should go up to I think 4 or 5.
Oh yeah, because there's. Okay, so yeah, that's a strategy.
Yeah,
That's nice.
yeah, and
Because
if you do a harder one, the next one can be even harder than that too. So it's risk reward. It's cool.
Yeah,
It's really smart. Like I'm glad that you're digging that game.
I know nothing about the metagame so far, so all I can
Yeah,
attest
again,
to is how well everything else works.
it's all that is like pretty much after the first time you die is when you start seeing that. So
And that's the first time I died. Is I saw that it existed. I started piecing together what you were talking about it, and then I stopped playing.
cool. Play more. Let me know what you think. I'm excited to hear your thoughts.
Right, more Zelda. There's not too much to add between these 2 weeks. I just did a bunch more shrines. I almost have the Master Sword. But
Cool.
other than that, it's just been running around finding some shrines.
Cool. Have a good time.
Yeah.
Good. What is PUBG?
Players Unknown Battlegrounds.
Have we talked about this game before?
I think we have. I don't know.
It sounds familiar.
It's the H1Z1 clone.
Okay.
Is that the thing they're playing on the Bombcast?
Probably. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. This is this one. Yeah. Is this
Yeah.
on PS4 now?
No idea.
Battlegrounds developer Blue Hole has given fans another update on the Xbox One and PS4 release dates. It's definitely coming to PS4 and Xbox One. There's currently no timeline. Okay. Yeah, so this is like the new hotness. This is the new Battle Royale.
Yeah,
Right. Because H1Z1 had a bunch of problems with it that they
No.
never fixed.
And then all the developers abandoned that game.
Pretty much. And then this one came out with, out of the gate, even though early access, most, if not all, those problems fixed, just with a slightly buggy game.
So for folks who don't know, I'm trying to surmise here. So this is one of those PC games. It's kind of based on Arma.
How about you let me surmise?
Well,
right?
listen. I know you're going to get like really into the nitty gritty details. Here.
I was gonna give you the overview because I was assuming we haven't talked about it before.
Yeah, we haven't talked about it on this podcast before. I'll trust you, Scott. Give it to me.
Okay. So this is one of those third person shooter in this case. You can flip between, but I play it in third person, where you get put into an arena of 100 people.
Okay, that's a lot of people.
100 people or so, and to start, you fly around a pane diagonally across a map, and this is one of the improvements between the H1Z1 and PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. H1Z1, you could either spawn in a fantastic spot, or you'd get fucked.
Yeah.
So in this game, you start in a plane, you're going across the map, and you get to choose where you land. You get to jump out of the plane when you want to.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, that's an immediate improvement because now that puts a lot of strategy into where you start, into how you like to play the game. So if you want to be in a place where you are immediately going around killing people, and that's how you find most of your stuff, and because you're really confident in your Twitch shooting abilities, you can do it that way. if you want to be in a secluded area, you can plan it out that way as well.
And this is in like the same family of like the Arma mods, right? Like it does it feel like a continuation of that, or does it feel a little bit better?
It's definitely, it has nothing to do with a zombie game, so
Yeah.
I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but I can't remember how the others control because I never played the original Armor mods.
Yeah. So
So this isn't a comparison to that I would have any.
okay.
No.
Is H1Z1 still? Was that like the original name of like that Arma 3 mod that then spawned off?
No, Daisy.
Daisy, yeah, and then H1Z1,
Right.
and then what's like the one that's essentially this too, where you have to like buy a ticket to the battle royale?
That's still H1Z1.
That's still H1Z1.
That's still H1Z1. There's two different modes to H1Z1. There's the
Yeah.
survival mode, and then there's the battleground mode, which is
Battleground,
that's the ones you used to. The original plan was to have to buy a ticket,
Yeah.
or that you'd find them through survival mode. They did away with that. And they
Yeah.
separated the two games.
I thought, yeah, they split the battleground mode out, right? Isn't that like its
Right.
own game now?
Right.
Yeah. And now this is kind of like that.
Right. And I think the game where all the developers left, which is I think a few developers left H1Z1, but that was
It's mostly Daisy.
that was mostly Daisy.
So how does this stack up? How is like you're thrown into
So anyway,
an
so
airplane
you're
with 100 people?
yeah,
so
you're thrown into an airplane with 100 people. Yes, one airplane, not big enough to house 100 people, does it anyway.
okay, cool.
Fantastic. If one thing I didn't say is you're put into an arena match while the game sets up.
Yeah.
While you find a lobby, once that lobby fills, then it puts you into the game.
Yeah.
And if you get fun fact, if you get caught on fire in the lobby because they put shit around there for you to play with,
Yeah.
you are still on fire in the plane, and the trails of the trail of flames is visible throughout the plane. It's
That's
fantastic.
pretty good. Yeah. Is it like an airplane or like a cargo plane?
It is more like a cargo plane.
Okay. So you just jump out the back.
Yeah, it's
parachute
like a
down.
drop ship.
And it's the same idea. Like you're scavenging for stuff when you hit the ground, right?
Absolutely. You start out with nothing except for the clothes that you get to choose.
Okay.
And yeah, you've got to run around. You got to find your weapons. You got to find your ammo. You got to find all your gun mods, which, surprise, gun mods actually do something very useful in this game.
They modify your guns?
Yeah, because the stability actually makes a difference in this game,
Okay.
whereas in other games it really doesn't. All of the other different effects, they have a flash hider, which makes the world of difference when you're playing one of these types of games. If someone can't see you immediately because of the flash when you're shooting at them, then that means there's a good chance that it's going to be too late for them to figure out where you are
Okay.
if you're well hidden.
So they can really make or break being alive or dead.
Right. No guns start with scopes. You have to find those.
Okay.
They go from 2 to 8 times, and they have a bunch of different hollow and laser sights.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, no, I think those are the only 2. Yeah, it's just a bunch of stuff like that.
Okay.
And like they're the kind of mods that you have in the games that make a world of a difference.
Is there like a situation like where like a blue wall comes up and starts pushing everybody together?
You see, you've heard about this before, but we
Yeah.
weren't there yet. So
Okay.
after you get dropped in, you scavenge for stuff, and after a couple of minutes, there's a white ring that appears around the map. It says, "All right, all of you people, you have to start rushing into this map. You have to start rushing into this area, else a blue wall is going to start coming in from the outer edges, and you're going to constantly take damage." And this
Yeah.
is, you do not have a lot of time once you're in that field.
Yeah. I've heard
Not-
it's pretty vicious.
It is a pretty vicious field because one time I want to say I was inches away from making it inside the field, and because I had to sprint away from it.
Mm-hmm.
I got shot and I got down because I did not have time to try and find cover. I had to run straight from wherever I was to the inner circle.
Because you were far away.
And, right. When I got down, I was inches away, and I could not make it back into the field when I was downed.
Yeah.
before it killed me and pronounced me dead permanently.
Now, if you get in the
Um,
field, is like safe? Are you like home safe?
You're not safe, but you are safe from that blue thing.
How big is like the white circle, like the area that it's trying to
It
force you into battle?
it varies in size. There is
Oh,
every couple of minutes the game goes on, the white area keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
that's kind
And
of great.
until I think it disappears. Because it hasn't got games always ended before that.
Yeah, of
But
course.
it forces you into such a small area that you can't not know where the other person is.
Yeah. So it really is. It sounds like it's more effective at creating like a battle arena than some of the other iterations of this.
Oh, absolutely.
Is it? Does it work? Is it fun?
Oh yeah, it's absolutely. It is,
It's fun.
that was the worst way to try and put it.
Is it enjoyable?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say this: I can't see myself playing it then with other than the other three people that I was playing it with,
Yeah.
which was Tony Griffin and one of the Discord peoples.
Yeah. I mean, those boys got them. Those other. Now all y'all got the gaming PCs. You're all in the cool. We're gaming PC brethren club. And
Yep.
I'm
You
just
ready
over
to
here
join?
Playing the Switch.
You ready to join?
I'd love to join. I wish I could afford it. Brandon, you want to buy me a $2,000 gaming PC?
Well,
No,
you
I
don't
didn't
need
think so.
something. You don't need something that extravagant.
Yeah, not to run this, I'm sure, but I don't know. I'd want to get something pretty nice just to run everything else.
Yeah, You'd actually, because of all the stuff you do, you'd still be wanting to run some of the more expensive parts.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I know. Nate in our live chat, remember you can always watch live Saturday nights on youtube.com/irrationalpassions, said, Scott, when are we playing together? So Nate's got one of those. Nato Johnston, in front of the show, has got one of those gaming PCs. He wants to play with you.
well, it's soon enough because I've been bad about this, and I'm sorry, but I did see your tweet at me a while ago saying, "Hey, when we gonna be playing these PC games together?"
Scott. Yeah,
I'm paraphrasing here.
yeah. I imagine Nate talks like that. That sounds right.
Yeah, I just keep forgetting to respond. So eventually, you're gonna be getting a link to the Discord that we're playing in.
Okay, cool. It sounds good. I didn't want to like super surmise it, but like I heard quite a thorough kind of description of it that actually made it sound more appealing than Battlegrounds
Right.
had been before. So
Right, because one of the other things is the shooting is straight up better.
yeah, that makes a big
Um,
difference too.
The recoil and the spread range isn't ridiculous like it is in a lot of games that overdo it. It's not the accuracy of your rifles is much better.
Yeah,
The like the way you use different guns makes sense. Like in most games, they screw up the shotgun, where a shotgun does absolutely nothing after a certain distance. There's no way that you're going to possibly be able to hit someone after a certain distance.
yeah.
And in this game, yes, you're still going to be able to hit them. It's just not going to do as much damage because
As
you're
far
not
as-
going to hit them with everything.
As far as I'm concerned, every game except Doom 2016 screws up the shotgun. So
Mega Man X doesn't.
I have opinions on the Mega Man X shotgun. Let's say.
I know you.
Because
do.
I mean, it kind of fit. They effectively hit the same purpose, but the range ends up being skewed on them. So that's nice about this game, shotgun,
Yeah.
especially with the mod that goes ahead and encloses that range in.
I like the sound of it. It sounds, like I said, more interesting than the others in that family. Is it the same map every time?
To my experience, it is the same map every time.
How long
You
do
do
the
not
games...
you do not get dropped in the same way every time.
Yeah, of course. How long do the games last typically?
I want to say they generally last around 20 minutes if you end up winning.
Okay. Yeah, that's what it sounds like, because the way it like pushes everyone together. Sounds like that would be the time.
You're in there for an average of 10 to 12 minutes though.
Okay.
And this is from the time that you get into your lobby to the time the game ends.
Cool. That's good. I like it kind of succinct. So I think that works better for that kind of game too. Anything else you want to add, or you been playing?
Other than those 3 games, no, not really.
Cool. You guys want to talk about news by chance?
I think we should just end it. Just
Can I tell you some
throw
more?
it out.
Can we talk about bananas some more?
I mean, we could if you really wanted to.
That'd be so good. They're not my favorite fruit. What's your favorite fruit?
Valid question. Favorite fruits?
Yeah, but then we wouldn't be talking about bananas. And
No, I understand, but I'm just saying as a palate cleanser here before we get to news and gaming.
Okay.
Favorite fruit?
It would have to be apples.
Apples. Okay. Actually, thinking about it, I've been thinking about it because I feel like you asked me this earlier in the weekend, and I didn't
As
have
you do.
as you ought to do. I didn't have a good answer. I think it might be grapes.
Oh God,
What?
bad fruit.
Dude, what's wrong with grapes?
I mean, okay, they're like a good fruit. They're not a favorite fruit.
They're delicious.
All right.
I'm sure they're kind of boring, but like
Green or purple?
I like them both, man.
Yeah, but okay, pick one.
Probably purple grapes.
Do you like seedless or seeded?
I like both, but prefer seedless,
Okay.
of course. Like
Okay.
seeded grapes are weird.
No, they're real grapes. Seedless grapes are weird, in fact.
Whatever. I'm indoctrinated to GMOs. Let's go. What about you, Brant?
Raspberries.
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 Scott?
mangoes.
Ooh, mango's good.
Mango's very
Yeah, mangoes are real good.
Mangoes are real good.
That's a good. See that.
Actually, I got a better answer.
Yeah, that I was gonna say that's a real ass fruit to have as a favorite fruit.
Watermelon.
All right,
Watermelon's a good fucking fruit.
it's a good fruit.
Watermelon's hit or miss. And it's nothing to do with the consistency of the watermelon being good or bad. But it's like sometimes it's like, I don't want watermelon right now.
That's fair, but like that's how I feel about fruit in general. So
Well, it's one of those things where if it's placed in front of you, it's like you have to eat this at some point or it's gonna go bad, and you're just like, nah.
It's a good summer
I'm gonna let it
dessert
go bad.
thing.
yeah, if you place a slice of watermelon in front of me, I will eat it.
Right, and that's not. I'll do it to be polite. I won't always enjoy it.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like you go out to a cookout, during the summer, you have like a hamburger, you have a hot dog, you have an ear of corn, you have a little bit of side salad, maybe macaroni salad, macaroni and cheese. You got like that stuff, and then everyone's having a conversation after the meal is over. Everyone's talking about things, and then somebody brings out a tray of watermelon. That's quite nice.
That's quite nice.
That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
But shout out to citrus fruit, man.
Yeah. Ooh.
Citrus fruit's where it's at.
I could do some orange.
Citrus
I have to be in
fruit
the
always-
mood.
Yeah.
Citrus always has a hit or miss.
Really?
Not to the fruit itself.
Just in general.
Just in general,
The umbrella of citrus.
You bite into one. Okay, well that's not how you eat citrus.
Yeah,
but
true.
you bite into a slice of one. We're talking oranges here, and it's all right. Is this entire orange good, or is this something that I don't want to eat? And not as in I'm not feeling oranges right now. It's do I need to pick out another orange because this one doesn't taste good?
Well, the thing is that you don't, in the citrus category, most people don't straight up eat lemons and limes.
Yeah.
So that's just like two major members of that family out.
Right, but there's tangerines, there's grapefruits, there's
Right.
Clementines is
Clementines are objectively my favorite citrus.
yeah.
They're
Mine too.
really
yeah.
good.
Right.
Yeah. You can't fuck with a clementine. Clementine is like
Clementine, it's one of the few things I feel comfortable buying in like a
in
wooden
bulk.
box.
You're like, I'm gonna eat all of these.
Yeah, it's good.
For sure.
I'm definitely not gonna go to a doctor.
Yeah, exactly.
Nabishin, what did you say? What did you say? Apples?
Apples, yeah, definitely.
Apples are really good.
Apples are really good.
My final fruit related question, because it's on my mind, and there people have opinions. Peaches.
People are having opinions in the live chat also.
Peaches. Do you like soft peaches or like a hard peach?
It's got to be a balance, right?
I don't know. I like them both, but
I don't know if
so
I've had a
here's the
soft
thing.
peach.
Oh well, you're just messing up. It's
Never
like
eaten a peach.
Ooh.
Noption.
You see that is the real mess up here.
True, yeah.
I
Peaches are great, man.
peaches are pretty good, but I'm saying it's like here's the metaphor I got for peaches. Then we will get to news and gaming.
Okay, I'm looking at my fucking sound clip here.
I
Someday
know.
we'll get here.
But the thing about the here's the metaphor. It's like Jenga. Where like a soft peach is like that piece that in Jenga that just like slides right out, and then the
slides in.
hard peach is like when the one you gotta like jostle a little bit.
Okay.
Like it's real good. Like if you get like a soft peach, you can conceivably eat a soft peach in 2 bites.
Does it have a seed in the middle?
Yeah, I mean you gotta. That's why it's 2 bites.
Got
You're not evil Knievel.
Okay.
But soft peaches.
Wouldn't it be
shout
free
out.
to deal with the seed?
Well, I'm saying you bite one, you could literally eat 1/2 of it because it just like it disintegrates. It's amazing. It's
Yeah, but I mean, like
interesting
one bite to
mouthfeel.
eat half of it.
right.
another
Then you
bite
take out the
to
seed. No, you
out.
take out the seed with your hands.
You're
you
a
got-
fucking animal.
You got hands. It's like I know I've played Trauma Center or XOXO or whatever the hell it was for DS, and now I know how to remove a peach pit without the need of my teeth. What is this, hatchet? Like I got tools here.
Also, we can take a minute.
There's no way that your hands are not sticky afterwards.
Oh yeah,
my
well, you're
God.
getting sticky hands, but you're eating a fucking peach.
But
You know
it's
it.
he's washing his hands or being an animal afterwards. But he's mostly likely washing his hands.
hope so.
After the entire peach, yes, not after the first half of the peach. I don't have an intermission in the middle of my fruit.
No, of course not. But I mean, like, if you just, I don't know, bite the peach out, you don't have to wash your hands afterwards. You wash your hands beforehand, and you're done.
Yeah, but there's no like not rude way to do that. Like if you're in mixed company, you can't just be like, all right, exactly. It's not like like a grenade. You're like, excuse me, I got to deal with this peach pit real quick. All right.
I just want to say real quick, pears are very good. I haven't had a pear since I was like a kid, but like pears are kind of like apples, but they taste very different.
Yeah.
and they're very good.
I like a good pear. The pears can also be like crunchier or softer.
Yeah,
And I
I don't really like the paste pears.
fair enough.
All right.
And then they can be stringy.
Yeah, that's also
So at the
true.
same time, they could not be a fruit that I like and be a pain in the ass to eat. So I
That's-
don't
oh.
care.
0 for 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pears are generally very good. So I hope eat your fruit, everyone.
I'm glad we had this fruit conversation.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
like Yoshi's story.
Let's talk about some news, guys.
News in gaming.
We got a couple of things to talk about. How about, because we brought it up earlier, how about we talk about this Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild DLC information? Because it's pretty cool. I wasn't expecting it to actually get me interested. So essentially, Nintendo put out some information about the mid-year DLC that's coming to Breath of the Wild. Let me see if I can actually bring up a good story that actually breaks it down pretty well. This seems good. So, hard mode is being added. Obviously, if you start a new game, you'll be able to play on hard, which makes everything harder.
Is there a master mode after you beat the game?
There's no like Master Quest equivalent, right?
That's bundled in now.
But like Master Quest is more than just a hard mode. So, hard mode would make it so essentially all the enemies will be of a higher rank from the beginning. So the red bokoblins would be blue would be gray, whatever that kind of middle rank there is.
Right, and then those other bokoblins that are higher than gray will actually appear sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I haven't. I have a guidebook. I haven't been using it because it kind of defeats the whole point.
Yeah.
But I did go ahead and I wanted to take a look at some of the weapons and some of the enemies.
The silver ones, is that what you're talking about? Like the
Right, because there's 4 ranks in terms of those kinds of colors for those, and I've never seen the other ones.
Yeah.
I've never seen the highest ranks ever.
You typically don't see those until you've completed. I believe it's like a threshold of shrines until you start seeing those guys. And it also says on top of that, there will be quote unquote higher ranking enemies you won't find on normal play. So where it says through normal play. There's some examples I'm looking at right here, like bokoblins riding on like floating rafts. Not bokoblins, moblins riding on like floating rafts in the sky. I don't know if that will be just for hard mode or if that's just something they're patching in the game. But keep in mind, if you do start on hard mode, you will have to wipe your save if you want to stay on the same profile on your Nintendo Switch, which is kind of a bummer. hopefully they will find a way around that. Some slight spoilers for how the Master Sword works in Breath of the Wild, just coming up real quick. So if you don't want to know that, I know we're 2 months out, but I know a couple of people in this podcast don't have the Master Sword yet. So
I have it.
I know you haven't, Brand.
You just like looked at me when you said that.
I'm looking at you to appreciate me for being considerate.
Fair.
But another thing being added in this mid-year patch is called the Trial of the Sword. So the Trial of the Sword is... We initially thought it was essentially the equivalent of the Cave of Trials or the Pit of 100 Trials or whatever, which is something we've seen in Twilight Princess and Wind Waker before, or the Cave of Ordeals, which is also a thing. But essentially it's a unique location accessible through the DLC that you'll be stripped of all your stuff and you'll have to fight through 45 rooms of enemies. And the reward for doing that is to make the Master Sword more powerful, and meaning it will be permanently glowing and powered up when it's usable. For folks who have played the game, they'll know what that means, which is big. That's big.
It would be great.
Doesn't that, if it's always in that mode, doesn't that also mean that it doesn't have that break recharge time?
I believe it'll still have that. I'm pretty sure it still breaks and recharges. But I think it might actually make it so it doesn't break as often, in addition to be more powerful. So, Hero's Path is one of is like the map feature that they're adding that I actually think is really cool. I was surprised to think that the quote unquote map feature that they're adding in the game is cool. But essentially, it lets you, for anyone who's played the game up to this point or plays it further on, you'll be able to watch a line of you going through the world, and it essentially shows your path through the world, shows you all the places you've been and the path that you took to get there. So, and it'll track back through 200 hours, right? That's the cutoff period, but that's a pretty substantial amount of time.
Oh, that's a huge amount of time. You could cover the entire map in that amount of time.
Exactly. What's really cool about this is for people like me who have been kind of chipping away at the last few shrines, you can essentially see where you haven't been and know to go exploring there for shrines, which is really cool. And it's kind of like is a weird comparison, I know, but at the end of every match in the game Evolve, it would show you all the player characters' path through the map as the game went on and the monster's path. So you can see like how close or how far you were from the monster at times. It kind of reminds me of that. So it shows your like little stringy path through the map.
Yeah, that sounds like a really cool thing to add to a game.
Yeah, that's a neat feature. So I'm into that. And again, this is all with the DLC. So you would have to buy the DLC to get any of these features that I've gone through.
Or have a season pass.
The last feature that they're adding is something called the Travel Medallion, which essentially you can leave in a place and make that a permanent fast travel point. And you'll be able to move that around, I believe. But if there's like a specific place, like for example, your house, you can buy a house in Breath of the Wild. If you want to make that a fast travel point, you could leave the travel medallion there and be able to warp to it from anywhere in the game, which is cool. They're adding some downloadable or some DLC costumes as well. Korok mask, a Tingle outfit, which is great. A Majora's mask, Midna's helmet, and the Phantom armor that Zelda possesses in Spirit Tracks. And there might be more past that, but I believe that's it. That's all they've shown at the very least. So this is the first of the 2 DLC packs, and the season pass is still $20. Or £17.99 or €19.99, depending on where you are, or probably it's like $600 in Australia, wherever NATO is. But that's actually, again, like the next part of it is they're adding like a new dungeon and a new story to go along with that. I imagine they might be adding like a full race and a dungeon to go along with that, because that's kind of how it's worked with all the other ones. But as far as like the other part of this that we assumed would just be garbage, this is actually pretty rad. I'm humbly impressed. Makes it more worth, like if you split it 50-50 down the middle, $10 for this, $10 for the other dungeon. It makes it more worth it.
Absolutely.
How do you feel about it, Nabishin?
It's totally worth it. I feel like if you were really into that game, this is like a good excuse to go back into it and just re-experience it. like when Nintendo usually do their season passes, like other than this like emblem thing that they're doing right now, I feel like they put a lot of value into it.
I think like Mario Kart 8, like that had a really great season pass.
That was a really good one. Even like the not really them, but like the Hyrule Warriors DLC stuff was really good as well. So yeah, I, I think it's totally worth it for what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have the season pass quite yet, any of the DLC, but I do plan on getting it. Yeah, it makes me want to go back to it. And this, I believe this is coming out in August, sometime this summer at the very least. But yeah, that's rad. In other news, Darksiders 3 was announced this week, which I'm the only person.
I'm just saying, it's just more Zelda news.
Yeah, pretty much. It's all just Zelda in my
Yeah, I've pretty much fallen outside of Darksiders at this point.
Yeah, that's fine. You know, I get it. Darksiders 2 burned a lot of people. But I keep buying these remasters and re-release like, hey, I'm going to keep buying these. Please make more of these. Because, you know, I want them to make Darksiders 3. So it's coming out in 2018. IGN first. Their kind of monthly big preview promotion that they do is kind of where you'll get all the information through. It's going to come out throughout the month. Trailer is out. Kind of very alpha gameplay is out. I don't know if anyone else watched that gameplay, but it's like clearly like, oh yeah, this is this is early, but it looks great. It's very pretty. You play as Fury, the third horseman of the apocalypse, the female horseman of the apocalypse. She's more nimble, right? She has like a whip that she can use to swing around. She has different forms she can transform into to give her different powers. Seems like most of her powers will be based around that. You'll get traversal things from that. Just watching the gameplay, it seems like they've abandoned a lot of the stuff that they added in Darksiders. My other Dark and then S word game names. In Darksiders 2, like loot, it didn't seem like there was any of that, or equipment. Seems kind of more channeling the original Darksiders, where it's kind of like a little bit of God of War, a little bit of Zelda-esque. But looks good. It's cool. I'm excited that there's a third one. I'm excited that we get to explore the third horseman. I really like the world that they build up with that. I really like the ideas they've introduced with that. It seems like this is also going to be like a parallel story to Darksiders 1, kind of like how Darksiders 2 was. Which, considering the way Darksiders 1 ends, that kind of makes sense still, but I do wish they would kind of keep pushing forward. But Strife, who is the last horseman of the apocalypse, I'm curious to see if this does well and we do get a fourth one, God willing. He's got like 2 guns is his thing, and he's like a gunslinger. So I'd be curious to kind of see how that plays out as well. Yeah, it looks good. I'm excited. I did not think that this was going to happen. So it's one of those like Sly 4 moments where I'm just jazzed that this is going to come out. I'm going to buy it. Hopefully it'll be pretty rad. And I'm really into it. Alana Pierce.
Side note.
Yeah.
Is Sly now considered done?
I mean, they left it on a cliffhanger, but I feel like if there was going to be a Sly 5, which fingers crossed, I'm still hoping, we would know by now. I think it's not impossible, but probably not likely. So yeah. Seems like it got one last ride. That was the vibe I got. That's what I expected going into Sly 4.
One last heist.
Yeah. It was a good one. Sly 4 is really good. It is probably the weakest of the 3 kind of open-ish world games, in my opinion, but it's still really, really good. So, yeah, Alana from IGN is the only other person that I know is also really excited about Darksiders 3. But hey, I'm excited. Nabashin, you brought this to my attention. Everyone's kind of pegging down their E3 press conferences. Sony announced this past week that theirs is going to be 6 p.m. Pacific on Monday, as per usual. Microsoft is Sunday at 5. Bethesda's Sunday at 7. This is all Pacific time. So kind of all nailing it down, except for what with Microsoft being at a different time.
What about Nintendo? What about their big E3 conference?
Nintendo's not doing a press conference.
Wait, what?
I know. We're all heartbroken.
I prefer they didn't.
Seems like, yeah, I mean, whatever. Like they're fine doing their directs. I like Nintendo directs. So
Oh man, I want them to announce really good stuff.
Me too. And they're going to show off, Mario Odyssey. They said that was going to be at E3. I believe they said it was going to be playable at E3. I don't want to commit to that, but I believe that was out there at some point. So there's a lot to show. Fire Emblem Warriors still hasn't really seen gameplay. And I feel like there's other stuff. And that'll be post ARMS or like right around when ARMS comes out, but pre-Splatoon. So there might be more single player stuff to say about Splatoon. I don't know. They've got stuff. They got games coming. There's that Hey Pikmin game, I guess. And everyone's favorite, the new Nintendo 2DS XL.
I think that's pretty rad.
I'll say it's really nice at $150.
It would be even nicer at $120.
Yes. And like Nobishin said, no 3DS games are in 3D anyway, anymore. So
it makes a lot of sense. It would have been interesting if they'd had the confidence to do this back when the 3DS first came out.
Yeah, I hate that we have to call this a 2DS. I hate that part of everything.
Well, if the 3DS dies, we'll just call it a DS, and then the line will complete.
Yeah, and
the new DS.
And we'll call it a Game Boy with 2 screens. Yeah, I don't know. You guys talked about it last week, but the whole thing, like, just let it go and focus on the Switch.
I can't wait for the Switch. I want the Switch to be so good. This is my one time to say this, but like, I want the Switch to be really good.
Me too. We all do.
I like the system. I like the system a lot. Eventually I'll have one.
Yeah.
I just want it to be good.
I feel like anyone that has used it hasn't had negative things to say about it. Like, it is a good piece of hardware.
I know. I just need the good software. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, where are you at with Mario Odyssey?
I mean, I'm gonna buy it day one.
Yeah, but like, are you excited? Are you concerned?
I want this game to be really good.
Okay.
And I don't think they're gonna mess it up because they didn't mess up Zelda and they changed Zelda they broke all of Zelda's rules, and I'm still like, this is one of the greatest games I've ever played. So they could do a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Mario's hat has eyes.
It's true. He can throw his hat, then jump on it, then jump off of it.
And then I ain't even mad. Yeah. So I fully expect that this is going to be another blockbuster game. But like, I'm looking at E3 to show me about all those indie games that are going to kind of fill in the gaps. And then what's the crazy name of the game from Square Enix?
Oh shit! Yeah,
where it's like Bananarama Tastic 534 2 over 5 days repeated 16,000 leagues under the sea turn-based action game. Your friend, like whatever the hell that is.
I do not
Fantasy
remember what
15?
that game was called at all. Yeah, that's what it was.
No, the game for the Switch has got the stupidest name ever, but I want it to be really good.
Project Octopath Traveler.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sounds like a Mega Man X boss.
Yeah, man, that is a name. But it's Tokyo RPG Factory is the same studio that did I Am Setsuna.
Mm-hmm.
And again, when they announced Tokyo RPG Factory as a studio within Square Enix, and they're like, hey, we're gonna put out more smaller JRPGs like I Am Setsuna. Like, it's cool to see their next game and to see it's like very, very different.
Yeah.
Because they could make Chrono Trigger likes for the rest of the time and have them probably do okay, but it's more exciting to see them breaking into like different styles of classic RPGs.
Yeah. I think that the Switch fits in with my lifestyle really well, where I want to have the good games available everywhere, and I don't want it to be hard.
Do you use it on your commute?
I have used it on my commute before. Okay. I don't do that regularly because there was a point with Zelda where I was like, I have to put this game down. It's interfering with like my life.
Yeah, I got you.
But the thing is, like, I go visit my mom at her condo on Long Island, and so I'm gonna buy another dock so I can just take the Switch with me there. And I don't have to jump through hoops. I don't have to download things in multiple places. I just turn the Switch on and I play my video games.
Yep.
And that's all I care about.
It's good. The gimmick works. The hardware is good. People like it. People like playing on it.
It's got a good hook.
Yeah, like just
games.
Put games out on it, and that's literally all you have to do.
Put all the games
Which
on.
is very hard. I'm not going to like sit here and pretend like making video games and making them good video games is easy. And porting them and like doing stuff is easy. But like commit to doing it. And you're already proven you can do it.
Right.
Do it. and like I think you'll do okay. Like I don't. Again, people have asked me a couple of times on Sunday chats, like, "Hey, do you think Switch is going to do Wii numbers?" I'm like, absolutely not. Nothing will ever do Wii numbers.
What if it did?
If it did, though, I'm not saying it doesn't have the potential to. Like,
This is what it would have to do for it to get Wii numbers.
Yeah, exactly. All you got to do is just keep putting out good games, keep getting good indie games, and be weird, a little weird.
Yeah, I think that launching with Zelda was a really good move because if not, there would be all this chatter of like, well, the handheld system, how powerful is it? Can we have real games on it? I think that the fact that they launched with this, a game that people put hundreds of hours into, and
Right,
still got a lot out of.
it no longer matters how powerful it is. If all they need for this game to hit Wii, all they need for this system to hit Wii numbers is the 2 more games, and that is for Mario to be as good as Zelda. High bar to set, I know.
Yeah.
And then they just need 1 more game at that level.
Yeah.
And then
Super Metroid Brothers.
Yeah, like Mario Kart 8 was is the fastest selling Mario Kart ever on
Yes.
Switch.
200cc.
Yeah, 200cc. There's the joke. So like people are ravenous for games, and people bought the thing, and people like the thing. They're going to keep buying games for it if they like the thing.
Right.
But like just this past week, Sony announced PlayStation 4 had shipped 60 million units. 60 million PS4s.
Yep, I have one.
I do too. Nabishin has bought 2 in his lifespan.
At some point, I will buy a Pro.
damn it,
Scott
Should've
hasn't
bought
bought
one
even
off
one. Yeah.
I should have bought one off an option.
There
Scott,
go.
you should buy mine.
Yeah, you should have bought Nabishin. Well, no, Nabishin, you gave that to your friends, right?
Yeah, it did.
So,
God, Nabishin's so good.
SOL.
He's too good for the rest of us.
But yeah, that's huge. Like PlayStation 4 is fucking destroying it right now.
Yeah,
It's like honestly unsettling how well that hardware is doing.
it's really good, but I want the Switch. It's such a good idea.
There's
I
room
like,
for Switch, is what I'm saying.
I like it when good ideas exist and when they're successful. So I see this and I'm like, this makes a whole lot of sense. I hope it's successful.
SteamWorld Dig 2 is really rad. It's gonna be great, guys. Don't worry, it's coming out in June, I think.
This time it's personal.
It's cool.
Yeah, Splatoon's coming out.
Splatoon is rad. I've played that. I beat Markiplier in Splatoon. I'm gonna keep fucking like holding that over my head. I mean, it could have been his team that was bad. I don't necessarily know if it was Markiplier specifically that was bad. I don't know which one was him, but definitely killed every person on that team a lot. So that's all I'm saying.
I apologize for the diatribe. I just want the Switch to be good.
No.
And I want to be on the record for saying I want the Nintendo Switch to do well.
None of us want Nintendo to fail. We just want them to stop being stupid.
I think the Switch proves that they're ready.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe. Still got some issues, but
Yeah, some kinks.
that's it for news. Unless anybody's got anything else. I think we covered our bases there. How about we take a dive into the question bucket? I know that's not what it's called, Nabishin. Before you get on my goddamn case, take a peek in the mail sack. We did get a follow-up last week that I didn't put in the doc for you guys. No, that's not what I was looking for. From Jake Nichols, our good friend. I posed this question, I think, 2 weeks ago when I was last on. Why did Jake Nichols, and is at Jake R. Nichols on Twitter, why did he change his Twitter name, to be LaCroix Boy? And he sent us an email and said, I don't know, man. I just like LaCroix a whole bunch. And then in all caps, he said, winky face. I love this email for a variety of reasons. All lowercase, the subject line says follow up. And he doesn't preface any of it. He doesn't give any of the information I just gave you, listener. He just says, I don't know, man. I just like LaCroix a whole bunch, winky face. So thank you, Jake. I appreciate the hell out of you. Keep doing you. Keep enjoying your LaCroix. Thank you, everyone who sent in emails, mostly Jake. But remember, you can always send your emails to mailsack@irrationalpatches.com. But thank you, everyone who tweeted us questions. I said, hey, we haven't had questions in a while. Send us some good questions this week. And of course, people rose to the occasion. I appreciate that. Remember, you can tweet your questions at IrrationalPod with the hashtag IPQ. First one we did get early in the week from JC Ramirez at SilverPR, good friend, obviously. He says, well, guys, I grab all but Hanzo and McCree skins from the latest event. What was your luck? Hashtag Overwatch. I think only Tony out of all of us played this Overwatch event recently, which is a bummer. I just haven't booted up Overwatch in a long time.
I booted up every update just to get my free loot and never play a match, or maybe just play one match and then that's all.
How'd y'all feel about that game on the Switch? Because I don't play that game at all.
I would love that game on Switch.
But I've heard the people saying that they would want it on that console.
I would absolutely play it on that console. I mean, I would play it pretty much anywhere. I just like know I'm like always keeping it at arm's length so that I don't get like hooked into it again.
Right.
At this point, because I don't have the time to
You
put
just
in
know.
that. I played like a lot of that game already, like 100-ish hours of that last year, and I love it. I mean, it was my game of the year. I liked it quite a bit, but I just am keeping my distance from it at this point. But Switch would be a really great platform. I don't know if it could run on that platform, but if it could, I would be very interested in playing it there.
Solid.
But yeah, Silver PR. I don't know. We'll have to follow up with Tony on that. Maybe we'll ask him next week. Let's see. What do we got here? Trevor Starkey at Snarky Starkey says, how's your head feeling? And he says in parentheses, I know it seems like an Alex specific question, but give it to the whole panel, please. How's your head feeling, Brent?
Hairier than usual.
Yeah, your hair is long right now.
Yeah, I decided that I wanted to grow it out long one last time before I don't do this again. Because it's like vaguely cute when you're in your mid-20s, and it's like stupid but rebellious in your teens, but I don't want to be older with long hair. So this is the last time it's going to happen, and then I'm gonna get my hair cut.
Okay.
And then it's going to be shorter.
When? Is there like is a point where it hits on your face where you want to get it cut?
No. I wish I was that rational, but I'm irrational.
That's why you're here.
And passionate. I think I'm going to get it cut before I have some friends getting married on June 3rd.
I'm going to get my hair cut again 2.5 weeks before Kind of Funny Live 3, so it's perfect length by the time I go to San Francisco.
You are a strange man.
Yep. I did it before PAX East, though, to great effect. I look fucking hot at PAX East.
Okay.
Just saying.
How's everyone else's head feeling?
How's your head feeling, Nobishin?
So I got rid of my beard and everything, so I can have like a fresh, clean face when I go to Kind of Funny Live 3.
You get it.
Yeah, I got my 5 o'clock shadow going in, so yeah, that's looking good. So
Feeling scratchy then?
yeah, a little bit. I literally hate never having a beard, or not necessarily beard. Beard's okay. I can get rid of. It's my mustache. Like when I don't have my mustache, I just hate it. I hate it.
Really? Is it because it's cold or because not milk doesn't get caught on it?
Like beard.
Yeah, I just like anytime I have any amount of facial hair, I hate it.
Okay.
I'm weird, but I can't necessarily grow facial hair. Scott, how's your head doing?
It's doing all right. I got a bunch of facial hair.
Yeah. Shit, have you not shaved in a while?
Yeah. Yeah, basically it's I don't shave because I get bouts of real pimply face, and you just cut yourself when you shave like that. So you are itchy for the end of the day. You have cuts on your face because you can't have a clean shave unless you cut yourself, and that's the other thing. If I don't cut myself, that means I'm not getting a good clean shave, which means it's patchy.
It sounds like a bad time.
It's a real bad time. So it doesn't happen too often, and the itchiness only lasts during the first couple of days, in my experience.
Okay.
It doesn't get itchy.
Your hair
after
grows
it's
pretty
in.
quick though. Like your
Yeah,
facial hair
after it's like in, and you definitely have some kind of a beard or scruff on, then there's no more itchiness to it.
Yeah.
The first 2 or maybe 3 days, you get an itch here and there.
Yeah. Fair enough. My
For me, it's gone by the 3rd day.
okay. I'm jealous. Like for me, it's like 6 weeks, and I'm like, this is still terrible. My head is still spinning around. It's happened a couple of times when we were recording. Just can't look up. Just don't tilt my head all the way back. Outside of that, it's all right. What sucks is I get most of my vertigo when I'm laying down. Like if I roll over from laying on one side to the other after a while because all the stuff in my head is moving around, it like fucks me up. So, which I do regularly while I'm asleep. So I've been waking up very early, and it's been terrible. But outside of that, it feels okay. It's just the spinning. Thank you for asking, though, Trevor. Cameron Abbott at Unsexiest Comedy says, if you had to place this fucking question, if you had to place an uninflated balloon of your favorite video game character in your favorite video game character is what he meant, how painful would it be for you when it inflated?
I don't even understand, man.
If you had to place an uninflated, he might be able to correct this because I think there's a typo in here. If you had to place an uninflated balloon of your favorite video game character, how painful would it be for when it inflated? Like if you had to place it inside, in like an uninflated balloon inside someone and then blow it up.
All right, I think that you're misinterpreting the question.
That's what it read like to me.
I think what they mean is if there was a picture of your favorite video game character on a balloon and you kept blowing it and eventually it popped, would you feel bad when it popped because it would be exploded?
It said how painful would it be for you when it inflated?
Yeah, how painful would it be to see your favorite character explode?
I think it'd be rad. I like watching balloons blow up.
The character being on the balloon would not affect me in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, because I know it's a balloon.
I don't think you do, though.
We'll loop back around to this question. Cameron's watching live, so maybe he can follow up with this.
Yeah, I want to know exactly what's going on here.
Quentin Hoffman at Quantum_Arbiter says, any of you guys played Prey, and why is it this generation's Bioshock? That's probably too far. I've not played the whole game. Maybe there is like a Bioshock-esque twist. But for me, it felt like it wasn't necessarily doing anything new, where I feel like Bioshock did do a lot new. Of course, like a lot of what Bioshock did new now is kind of rote.
Yeah, it's 10 years old.
Yeah, but like, the binary karmatic choices and the plasmid power upgrades and the twist, obviously, of Bioshock is still pretty legendary. But and like the audio logs, Bioshock, I think, was the first console game to do it really, really well. Obviously, System Shock had done that stuff before, but I don't know. I guess being the only person here that played it, it definitely reminds me a lot of what Bioshock did, but it seems like it is doing what Bioshock did, right? It's not doing anything new that is as groundbreaking as what Bioshock did. So calling it this generation's Bioshock seems hyperbolic. Does that sound fair? I feel like that's reasonable.
Sure.
But I don't know yet. It could really bring a lot new to the table there. It is a blend of many things that I like. Liza Charlton at straight_up_Liza says, have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2? If so, what did you think? I've not seen it.
I think I won't see that movie.
You're not going to see that movie. You don't like superhero movies.
I really don't watch movies.
That also doesn't help.
I know.
Nabashin, have you seen it?
No, I'll probably go see it on Tuesday. Normally I would see it, but finances just hasn't been where I need it to be right now.
Okay, sorry, I just read. I wasn't laughing at you, Nabashin. It was a comment that somebody posted in the chat. Have you seen it, Scott?
No. And like, Brent, I'm kind of like you, but except for the only kind of movie I do is a superhero movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's it.
Are you hyped for Spider-Man, Scott, aside?
Me, movies, and hype don't happen.
Fair.
But the equivalent that could be hype, yeah, I have.
Okay, cool.
Or its closest equivalent that isn't hype.
You're as excited as you could be.
Right.
I have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy. I think I'm probably going to see it tomorrow morning, it sounds like. Because I got got the Sunday off that I get to relax and enjoy, which is going to be cool. It's going to be rad. I might see it in IMAX. My roommates all went and saw it Thursday night. But
No shit.
But I had this sexy piece of human meat right in front of me here, and I wanted to spend some time with that instead.
Yeah.
Follow up. Cameron followed up on his comments. I think you'll be happy with how this went.
Oh God.
Cameron says, if you had to inflate an inflatable balloon character of your favorite video game character in your asshole, how badly would it hurt? Example, Kirby, bad, but not terrible. More intricate, more pain. My favorite video game character is Risei Kujikawa, so that'd be pretty much like a human shape in my butt. It'd be bad. it would be really, really bad. Brant, what's your favorite video game character?
Pass.
Nabashin, what's your favorite video game character?
My favorite?
Yeah. It's a tough question.
As a character or like as a video game?
As a video game character that to help you is going to potentially make your life a little bit more miserable.
As a character, I would say.
As a character, it would probably be Sora. As
Really?
a video
Okay.
game, I would probably
That's-
say Sonic.
Okay. Either sounds pretty rough. Scott, what's your favorite? Who's your favorite video game character?
I don't fucking know.
If you had to just generalize, do you think it would be painful?
At this point, I just say I'm just gonna go with the foot guy for this one.
Okay. He's pretty small.
This is gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt. Thank you for your question, Cameron. Justin Zorel, or Justin Graphius, if you didn't want to be goddamn smart on Twitter, at the Sigma Omega says, "Who are which members of the Guardians of the Galaxy if IP was the Guardians of the Galaxy?"
I just think we shouldn't do this one. We do this kind of thing too often.
Yeah, well, there's 4 of us. There's 5 Guardians. I guess it's 5 of us if we include Danny. So if we include Danny, like we can 1-to-1 this.
We
Danny
could, but I just think we shouldn't because we do too much.
I like these.
Ow.
Well, that's just because you're Gamora. Or is Nabishin Gamora? Shit.
Can we go
Why
back
would it
to
be
fruit?
Gamora?
I don't know. It's kind of sexy. That was the best answer I could come up with on the spot for that. Tony is Rocket, or Scott is Rocket. One of the two. Danny's Groot. You're right.
See why I don't like these?
Yeah. No, I get it. I'm just thinking about it here. I'm thinking out loud.
Let's put Tony as Rocket and me as I think his name starts with a D.
Drax?
Drax. There we go.
Yeah, that makes sense. Danny's Groot. Nabishin's Gamora. I'm Peter. Yeah, that makes sense.
Peter.
Peter Quill. Isn't his name?
Star-Lord. Yeah.
I mean, you said everybody. Never mind. Whatever.
You're right. You're right. But does Rocket Raccoon have a name?
Probably.
Probably. You're probably right.
But we don't know it.
We don't
and
know it.
The other guys' names are just that.
Yeah, Drax is just Drax.
Yeah. Groot's just Groot.
I am Groot. Trevor Starkey at Snarky Starkey says, just because Scott squashed it in bonus content, I would like him to rank the Fast and Furious movies. I want you to do this, Scott.
All right. So all the ones I haven't seen go first.
Okay.
So
Which are?
I don't know.
Okay.
I forget already.
Here, let me. I'm gonna
And
list
then-
you off the Fast and Furious movies. You ready?
Hold on. They're 1 through 8 essentially, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. So
Tokyo Drift is the 3rd one, but it's also the 7th one, whatever, 6th one.
It's like Final
hold on.
Fantasy.
So there's 7 movies.
There are 8 movies.
There are 8 movies. Okay, so there's 1 through 8.
Okay.
We're gonna go 1, 3, 4, and then the rest.
Okay. 1, 3, 4, and then the rest. You've not seen Too Fast, Too Furious?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't remember what the ones that I saw. I do know I saw the first one, Tokyo Drift, and then another movie.
Okay.
So I don't
Is Tokyo? This is a question. Is Tokyo Drift? Tokyo Grift.
I don't like
is-
these movies.
Is Tokyo Drift hot garbage?
I think that of the whole series,
Okay.
but like I haven't seen apparently the good part of the series.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like you would. There's a lot about Fast 8 that you would appreciate. Specific, just that one though. We'll talk about it maybe after the show. There's a scene. I don't want to spoil it for the listeners, but NATO Johnson says at NATO J18. Did you know the game that nobody's playing, quote unquote? Oh, that's right. Is starting its second season with 2 new characters, and then he says #news #Game of the Year 2017, and links me to a Polygon article about how not Dishonored. Fuck man, I can't even get the name right. For Honor is starting its second season. I forgot that he tweeted this at us and wanted us to talk about news last week. Nobody's playing For Honor. Like, I'm sorry. Who is talking about For Honor? Brant?
Ada.
I don't care.
NATO Johnston.
Okay. I mean, I hope the game is good so that the people who like the game have a good experience.
Absolutely.
Outside of that, dead to me.
Dead to rights. That's it for questions, I believe.
That's a video game.
Dead to rights, yeah. Thank you everyone who wrote in. Remember, you can be a part of the show in a variety of ways. You can tweet your questions at us with the hashtag IPQ. That's at IrrationalPod. Makes it easier to find us if you do both those things. Find the questions, that is. You can call us, leave us a voicemail at 404-590-1337. Standard long distance fees do apply. And you can email us, mailsack@irrationalpassions.com. If you like, you can follow each of us on Twitter. I am at AlFighter27. Scott is at WUTTEHCHUZ. Whatachuz. And Nabishin is at NABESHIN186. Brant, you are at BRange.
Yes, and Brent.range on Instagram.
There you go. We found it. We solved it. You knew. I know you knew. I'm sorry.
It's a good platform.
It's a good platform. And you can follow the site on Twitter at IrrationalPod. That's where you can get new updates on when the show goes live, when we're looking for questions, when videos go up, and when these extra life videos have killed me and I'm dead. Some other stuff, rate and review us on iTunes and Stitcher. It helps us out a lot. Go to vguva.com. Check out the podcast network there that we are a part of. Go check out twitch.tv/irrationalpassions and youtube.com/irrationalpassions. Brant and I played Mega Man X.
Excellent.
Mega Man Excellent, and it's a fucking series.
Yeah, it
Mega
is.
Man Extreme.
Mega Man Extreme. And while you're at it, hey, tell your friends about the show. Word of mouth is the best way to spread the love. And if you tell a couple of friends, maybe they'll tell a couple of friends. It's the best way to get the show in new people's ears. So try it out. For everything else, Irrational Passions, check out irrationalpassions.com. That's it. That's everything. Do we have bets? Do we have
I bet I can eat 2 bananas.
bet? If I had 2 bananas here,
Well, here would
I
be
would
the
do
bet.
this.
Here would be the bet.
Yeah.
How many bananas do you think Brant Range could eat?
Would you be able to fulfill
What-
this bet by the next week?
Yes.
Okay. Well, then you could participate in this. So we do bets at the end of the show every
Yeah,
week.
this
now.
is insane, but sure.
Yeah, we're gonna do this. This is a great bet. All right, I like this. This week's bet. We didn't have a bet last week because there were just the two of you guys. This week's bet. How many bananas can Brant Range eat? I'm very excited to find out.
It's going to be from 1 to 5. I'm not going to buy 5 bunches of bananas.
1 to 5. That's totally fine.
Which is a standard canonical bunch.
I'm not about to make you eat like 70 bananas, but I'd love to see you try.
Now, this is going to go until you physically feel like you should not be eating bananas anymore.
Right.
You know your limits. I'm gonna text you to remind you.
Sure. I mean, I buy all my produce on Sundays, so I'll buy it tomorrow.
Okay. Go ahead. No, I'm sure.
What if it's him eating the entire thing, right? And then like if he gets like 2.5, that doesn't count, right?
It's to the whole.
It's
You
to
have
the
to, you
hole.
have to
To
eat
the
the
hole.
whole.
So it's like, counting without going over. So it's to the
Right.
hole.
If he eats half of a banana, he has eaten 0 bananas.
Did you make?
Schrodinger's banana.
Do you do a live Instagram when you do this?
I'm gonna have to do something live because I know that this is gonna have to get documented somehow.
Absolutely.
I'd take his word for it. I wouldn't.
No,
care.
but yeah, but that's weird. That nobody else is gonna believe me. I could say 12 bananas, and you're just gonna have to be like, and then I'll say I'll never eat them that many again.
So for the purposes of this,
Yes.
you're going to be on Nobishin's team.
I mean, for the purposes, I thought I was like a man alone. I thought you were betting against me.
No, we're on betting teams, right? Scott and I versus Tony and Nobishin. So you're in for Tony this week, so you're going to be on Nobishin's team.
Okay, all right.
You could force yourself to eat additional bananas to hit a threshold.
What a weird thing.
But I hope you
What a
don't do that. I hope you
weird-
honor the respect of the bet.
What a weird first world thing. Like I have to force myself to eat food. Yeah.
It's 1 to 5, right?
yes.
Everyone's okay with that?
Because I think 5 bananas are the canonical bunch.
Okay, you guys type in your
Well,
bet.
here's the thing. Once he eats 5, it's just a matter of how big his stomach is. I don't think he's going to have the banana thing.
Yeah, it's not going to be the banana thing.
Right.
Okay. You guys want to send your bets my way? Brant, what's your bet?
I think that I think I'm gonna eat 2 bananas.
Okay.
Like I think that's because y'all are making it sound like a really unreasonable thing, and because I just think I can eat 2 bananas.
Okay. Scott, what's yours? Okay.
I think you can push it. Because
So-
here's the thing about it.
All right. I like the justification.
It starts feeling bad at around the end of the second banana. You
Yeah.
can do 2 bananas, but you're going to notice during the second banana, you're like, okay, this is not as good as the first banana.
yeah.
Right.
On the third one, you're going to be like, okay, I don't like this. On the fourth one, you're going to be like, I could eat this. I shouldn't eat this, but I can, so I will.
So I bet 2.
Past that, I think you're going to take the maybe a bite of that 5th banana, and you're going to lose your shit and toss it.
Scott bet 4.
Okay.
Nabishin bet 3, and you bet 2 on yourself as well.
Yes.
So we both bet 2. So if it is 2,
Right.
both teams get a
And
point.
this, I'll pinky promise on here. There's like a true wager.
Yeah, absolutely. Eat to your heart's content.
This is gonna be really weird. I don't usually buy this many, but I usually do it so I can make smoothies. But all right. So that's the thing. I eat these kale banana smoothie things every morning, so I might be predisposed to. I eat more banana than most people,
Yeah.
so I might.
That makes you the odd man out.
Yeah, so-
Oh, people in the chat are betting too. Nate said 4 and Justin said 3. I like this.
people care about bets when a European man eats bananas.
Fuck yeah, they do. That's it. That's the show.
Yeah, what a way to end.
What a way to go out.
Irrational Passions does have 50% of your weekly fruit intake.
It's
This episode came with 35% of your daily riboflavin.
brought to you by
Dole.
Dole. Just like fucking Donkey Kong 64.
That's a game?
Yeah, it's a game, man. It's a fucking video game.
Keep calm, banana on.
Banana on. That's the show. Thanks for hanging out, Brant.
Mm-hmm.
It's always a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks everybody for watching live. We had a bunch of people watching live. It was fun having you guys around. Thank you everyone for listening. Thank you, Danny Wiesner, for our opening music of 2-Player Co-op and our closing music of The World is Saved. Thank you, Scott Nobishin, for joining me as always. I love you guys. A winky face. And to Griffin Guccione out there, we love you. Sending you good vibes. And I hope you have a good day as well. That's all I got.
It's the show.
That's the show. That's all I got. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I love you all. I've been your host, Alex O'Neill. Play your games. Stay rational. We will talk to you all next week. Scott, it's your job now.
I want to do my job now.
Titles.
Get some. Oh, okay.
Are
We
we-
weren't gonna have this fight. I thought it was gonna be a thing. Damn it.
Are we live?
Yeah,
Yeah, we're live.
we're live for titles.
All right.
Dinos.
We'll get there. Read me some-
But it doesn't use Bitmojis.
I don't know what those are, so I probably said something weird.
I think it was before you got here.
we were.
Instagram versus Snapchat. The new correct versus wrong.
Waffles versus pancakes for you, Brands.
I thought correct versus wrong was funny.
That's good.
Fair.
Branch lives his life a full tank at a time.
Dear God.
That's good.
Fair though, accurate.
Yeah.
Best opening cutscene of the year.
That's really good.
Yeah, that's good too.
Spark Mandrill, aka Wilford Brimley. But I mean,
You knew what I was talking about, though.
if we're being honest, everything's just Willem Dafoe.
Exactly. We're all just different faces of Willem Dafoe.
I'm excited for the banana one, whatever it is.
It's pretty
Eat 2 bananas and tell me it's easy. Do it.
That ties together with a bet.
Yeah, for sure.
Keep going.
And then we got Banana Geddon.
Eat two bananas and tell me it's easy is hands down the title. That's too good. But I'm just saying, when I said Wilford Brimley, you knew I was talking about fucking Spark Mandrill. Okay? I'm just saying, there's a visual there that you understood.
You were like,
I
look
mean-
at the mustache.
He's the
I'm
only
adding-
person who's like a human. So it's like the
Because-
obvious one.
Yeah. No, you're good. Go ahead, Scott.
I think this is one of the weird times where we should have me say the number.
Okay.
Brant's gonna say okay,
Okay.
and you're going to say the new revision of the title. I added you to the front and put emphasis on
okay.
the you,
Got it. Okay, yeah, that's a good
as
bet.
if you're retaliating to something.
So can you say okay when Scott says the title intro?
No, you're gonna say it. I'm gonna say the number.
No, I'm talking to Brant.
Yeah. So I just say, he says, like, welcome to Irrational Passions episode 327. And I say, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
No.
Reverse that. You're telling in essence you're going to be telling Brant to eat 2 bananas.
So I say the title and then you say okay.
Okay.
Yeah, got it.
It.
Cool. Whenever you're ready, Scott.
Oh, right. Because I can't speak, I have to pull it up and go back up to the title. Okay. This is Irrational Passions Podcast, episode 227.
It's 327.
Let's one more time.
Yeah.
All right. Next time.
One more again.
This is Irrational Passions Podcast, episode 327.
You eat 2 bananas and tell me it's easy.
Okay.
Beautiful. Ship it, mark it, make it. Thank everyone for listening. You can stop recording now. And thank everyone for watching. Pardon me. Bye.